That is actually quite. Am I registering when I talk? Oh, I can't even tell.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, good. No, it actually tastes more chocolatey than the chocolate chip cookie dough ale. And the tasting notes are dark fruit and black pepper. I'm not getting black pepper. Let me see. Maybe a little.
Why is it always got to be black pepper?
One of my favorite moments of the relationship between Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. By the way, have you watched any of that show?
No, I have not.
I have seen the first episode, and I truly enjoyed it. It was just so crazy. Now, what was sad but not, I've seen the first episode. I need to see the rest of them, because when they're reading off a teleprompter, it's kind of stale, but when they go off script, it's fucking brilliant. I mean, just like, what is happening? In fact, I think, wasn't Seth Rogen on there? I think he was. He's gonna be a hero. Let's see. Martha, Snoop. Yeah, Martha and Snoop's potluck dinner party. Where is it? Yeah, it's Seth Rogen, Ice Cube, and Wiz Khalifa. And
so the only one not stoned is Martha.
To our knowledge. And by the way, have you seen what Seth has been doing recently?
No. What has he been doing?
He found out that Donald Trump Jr. followed him on Twitter. So he's been tweeting at him and sending him direct messages like, oh, hey, man, I saw that you were following me. Awesome. Hey, could you tell your dad to resign before he kills us all on the planet too? Thanks, dude. That's pretty much the messages he's been sending.
Well, really, it's a message we all want to send, right?
I know, but I'm like, how awesome. I mostly just wanted everyone like, hey, are you a celebrity? Do you have a member of the Trump family that's following you on Twitter? Help, for the love of God, help.
So did you see John Oliver this weekend?
I did, yes.
And all the news that's being hidden because Donald Trump is just so freaking crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And what's crazy is what was it? Two of those things I heard about.
You didn't hear about the get rich quick scheme? I can imagine that was the one you didn't hear about in Florida.
Yeah.
With the guy who wanted to plant the bombs at Target so that.
Oh, actually, no, I did hear about that one.
Oh, did you really? I didn't. And I live in Florida, but then again, that's just Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. Are you on your end coming through like really hot? I mean, well, Lee's not here to comment on that, but.
No, I think. I'm
no.
Okay. Is it really
that's
loud?
Cool. No, it's not loud.
You?
It's just it sounds like it's clipping. But if it's not clipping on your end, I don't care. It's not like it's blowing out my eardrums or anything. I just want to check.
Let me try something real quick. Is that any better?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what'd you do?
I turned down my gain.
Oh, okay. Thought you were going to do the technical equivalent of the...
Oh, the best part is that's when he dropped. Rox is here.
Hello.
And Widge is gone.
Oh dear.
He was complaining about the technical stuff, and then he disappeared.
Okay. I've got technical difficulties too.
What's your problem?
So the plug for my laptop that I'm recording on suffered a mishap somewhere. I think my housekeeper cleaners vacuumed it up because it just got sheared off. So here's the thing. This is what I did. This is how I solved it. Do you know the I know you're really in tune with your neighborhood. Do you know the app called Nextdoor?
What the hell was that?
I don't know. It's an app called Nextdoor.
So anyway, you join it and I know this is crazy for you people, but you get to know and post stuff about your neighborhood, like who's selling what
In our neighborhood.
what.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Do you post about who are the people in your neighborhood?
Well,
People in
yeah.
your neighborhood?
Yeah, let me
In your neighborhood.
my neighborhood.
These
Yeah.
are those people that are in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm one of those people in the neighborhood.
They're the people that you meet each day, John.
Hmm.
It is. All right. All right. Let me ask you, Widge.
Please
What's the
ask
name
me.
What's the name of your mailman?
I don't know. In
Ah.
fact, I don't have a chance to ask because every time she rolls through, she's on her cell phone talking really, really loudly.
Yeah, Lee, let me ask you. I mean, Lee, Rox.
Lee, whoa.
Let me ask you a question. Why did you automatically assume it was a male man? Hmm?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Shut up. Widge,
You don't think a woman
of
could do that job, Lee?
All right.
It's so
Wait,
sexist.
Rox.
You could-
What
Why
is
do you
the
keep-
name of your postal carrier?
I'm so used to berating Lee that
Boutel.
That's
What's that?
great.
What's the name? What is the name of your postal carrier?
Steven.
All right. Mine is Doug.
Prove it. Prove it that it's not. You can't.
I know you just thought of that, didn't you? You're thinking she went there. Have
Actually-
a name ready.
He looks more like a Carlos, I guess.
All right. So okay. So here it is. Next door. There. Look. Next door. It's got a little house on it. See it? See it?
All right.
Oh my
Yes.
God. See
see it,
it? It's
I
called
see it.
Next Door. Okay. So
Relax.
you open it up.
Relax, Lee.
You open it up. And it's got my neighborhood. I'm in 5 Points and 5 other neighborhoods. And
Don't
those
show that particular thing
no.
on the screen.
So
This is Trump's America, after all.
you can invite people from other neighborhoods. So I'm trying to get in Murray Hills neighborhood. So here are some of the stuff people post. Is this your cat? And this is by Val Fournier of Riverside. And she
Is
just
this your cat?
yeah, look, she just has this picture of its ass end. Is this your cat? Never seen this one in the neighborhood before. Such a sweetie. And here's the cool thing. You can thank them or hit a reply. So there are 6 thanks and 7 replies. So let's hear. So Crystal said thank you. Patricia said thank you. I won't tell you their last names because I don't need you stalking my neighbors.
She does that perfectly well.
I
on her own.
do this all on my own. So the reply
With help of an app called Your Neighbors.
Your
Or
neighbor.
Next Door, whatever
Yeah,
it's called.
he uses the app
Why?
called Stalker. STALKR.
Right. Why am I not seeing the replies? Hold on.
You've been banned by your neighbors.
Shh. No. My
I hate it when
neighbors
that happens.
like me. They like
You know-
me.
Which,
Any-
since we're doing that, oh, go ahead, Lee. I mean, Rox, oh my lord.
God damn, John.
Boutel.
I'm sorry, John. You've had enough.
Okay, so here are some of the things. Oh wow, what a beauty. We have found our cat and hope this one does the same, whatever that means. What a tail. Oh, is she microchipped? And Val wrote, Candace, not sure. I had to go to work after I posted this. I just got home and he was waiting for me in the yard. Adorable. So it's a stray. Val, if she doesn't belong to anyone, I think she picked you. Lucky she's beautiful. Thank you for helping her. And there's a little cat cartoon emoticon. Consider taking it inside and going to Blue Moon Printing in Murray Hill to have flyers printed. They used to give 100 for free. That's copies. I'm sure a family is missing this healthy and clean cat.
I'm glad it wasn't 100 cats. because that's too many
Yes.
cats.
This is true. So I had to write.
Wage
I
again.
had to write. Oh, did he go?
Mhm.
All right. I posted something.
And
Which is back. So here's my post from that damn little fucking
the
rat.
fuck?
Holy crap.
What?
There's a rat in my house. So
That's
we'll
no
move
way
on.
to. That's no way to talk about your boyfriend.
I'll be right back.
He's not here. He's not here. So anyway, I had to post on Nextdoor. Need PowerBook Pro cord. Power cord. Need one. My power cord to my MacBook Pro suffered an extreme mishap. I need to borrow a cord until I have one ordered. It is a 4-year-old MacBook Pro MagSafe AC port power adapter.
Okay,
I'm working on a project and I'm at 49% power. Thanks for any help. Rocks. I got 4 replies. Joe said, did you get a power cord? Yeah. Cindy said, I think I have one for my MacBook Pro. Would work. Call me if you still need it. She gave me a number.
What is
As
that
I
telephone
will be.
number? Let's call her now.
No.
Welcome to the
Yeah.
show.
Yes. Let's see. So I posted.
Mac Tech Tips.
Is the
You're on the air.
cord the square MagSafe adapter? Thank you, with gratitude. And Joe wrote back, if the one I loaned you doesn't work, please bring it back. I had to reply. Thanks.
if it does,
Well,
if it-
here's the
if it-
cool thing.
if it doesn't work, keep it.
Well, no. Okay. Well, with all things Mac, they have to change every single adapter going. So he gave me one and it was kind of weird and squirrely. So my boyfriend was kind enough to pick me up and we had to go and buy a $10 adapter so I could
Oh, my
use
Lord.
this. So I am working on power. I need to do something about that rat that's in the house. Anyway, so this is the cool thing is a neighbor, he texted me. He found my number on Nextdoor and he texted me yesterday and said, hey, did you get it? And I said, no. And he's like, well, he told me where he lived. So we drove by his house and he was sitting on the porch and he's like, here, try this. I'm like, thank you. That's what neighbors are for. I know this is new to all 3 of you. So new.
What are neighbors?
I thought so.
They're the people in your neighborhood.
Wasn't that a John Belushi film, Tuffley?
I think it was an Australian soap.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Oi.
The pause that refreshes every 15 minutes on Weekend Justice.
Absolutely.
I was trying to improve our foreign sales just then.
Thank you.
Try.
Oh, so apropos of nothing, but since we were going to who are the people in your neighborhood, did you guys see about the Julie Andrews Netflix show?
Oh, no. What?
She's doing a kids show called Julie's Green Room, and it's basically done with Henson Company, and they're all these Muppet kids, and they're putting on a show together, and she brings in everyone from like Alec Baldwin to Carol Burnett as guest stars to help get these kids ready to go on the stage, and it looks like a lot of fun, and it's on Netflix.
Whoa. I like Julie Andrews.
How could you not like Julie Andrews?
I don't know. I think Christopher Plummer still has an issue about her.
Really?
Yeah, he went on record any number of times about how much he hated Sound of Music. I almost want to say Silence of the Lambs, but
Wow. Well,
It's okay, Lee. We understand.
The hills are alive with the lotion? What?
Yeah, it was the nuns. The nuns and lotion.
Nuns and Lotion. That
Yeah.
sounds like a horrible porno title.
Yeah.
Or an awesome one. I
That's
guess it depends.
that's the next
Depends on
season of
your-
Jessica Jones.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So we started watching Westworld. We're on episode 5.
Oh, how you liking it?
We like it. I've started
that's so
delving
good.
into finding information online. And
So wait, you're on
Don't
episode.
find. No, don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't. Be careful. Be
Well,
careful.
no. I'm not going ahead. I'm just reading what other people have written
okay.
about.
Okay.
Duh.
Because I was going to say, episode 5, you still don't really know anything.
Hey, look, I'm really trying because my boyfriend wants to watch it, and I just can't. I could easily watch it again later, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I want to watch it through again.
Ahead. I could skip ahead and watch it and not tell him I watched it and just lie. I don't want to start that route. Don't want to go down
Again.
that road again. Yeah. So
Yeah, I want to watch it again. Cosette's been watching it, and I'll wander through the room and pause and watch something and go, oh.
The
I mean,
music,
literally everything I've seen when I've like gone through. Oh, where are you? Oh, it is so laden with foreshadowing that you don't even
My
know is
God.
foreshadowing.
actually,
which the player piano,
oh god,
Oh God, I love it.
and
I've gotta
there's
get that soundtrack.
foreshadowing with the player piano.
I know, but I've got to get that soundtrack. It is so awesome.
somebody
Holy
else
shit, it's
said
cool.
that too.
It's so
Oh
good.
my god, that soundtrack is the first episode. It's just like holy crap.
Also
And
keeping up,
all the music is like going over my boyfriend's head.
Yeah. also keeping up the tradition of Radiohead meaning bad things, because that was the same. That was the same thing those guys did on Person of Interest.
Nice.
Actually, I'm really digging on the homages to other things done, because there was a line that was used in Ray Bradbury in Something Wicked This Way Comes, and I'm like, holy crap! I
Yeah.
was just so thrilled.
It's layer on layer of references that all mean something.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the clues they put in there, the clue bricks that are obvious and the clue bricks you have to dig for are actually kind of cool too.
Oh.
Now, Tefley, you watched Person of Interest,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I did.
Now, how does this compare to Person of Interest? Because if this is how cool Person of Interest was, then I just need to stop everything that I'm doing and fucking watch it. So,
Person of Interest, Person of Interest had to kind of play the CBS game of being a procedural until about the 3rd or 4th season.
which is fine.
And then they started to go completely AI versus AI, and there were some case of the week episodes, but not a great deal. A lot of them were Myth Arc.
Okay.
So to answer your question, they're two distinctly different things.
Okay. but no, just from the standpoint of the whole,
Although everybody on Person of Interest is fantastic.
Okay,
Okay.
so all right. Actually, here's my question: is Person of Interest clues and stuff like that better than Lost?
Yes, they make more sense.
Well, a person of interest was way more straightforward.
It was more of a straightforward narrative, though.
Right.
Okay. All right.
well, and here's the thing too, is that
Because it's CBS, and that came from the
Yeah.
know they produced Murder
But
Show.
it was the smartest freaking show CBS had. So, and that's by a long mile.
Oh.
So
But there's Scorpion, though.
no.
Come on.
Scorpion's pretty stupid.
I agree with you.
I gave Scorpion an honest chance, but then 2 episodes later I had to stop because I was sick.
You and me both. I think I got 4 or 5 episodes in, and I just was like, ugh.
Oh, they just made a pop culture reference in a way that meant the case was no. Stop.
Yeah,
Stop trying to be Mission Impossible and Buffy and whatever the hell else you think you're being. Just stop.
well, and I don't mind something evolving into something else. Because, like I said, my favorite example of that is 100 Bullets.
Yeah.
Because once that was revealed that it was not actually just an anthology series, I've been trying to figure out how to use that concept, and I haven't really come up with something that I like enough to try it. But you know what I mean? That, oh, this is one thing.
Is HBO still developing that? Is that still with HBO?
You know, I have no idea, actually.
Because I was thinking, how the hell are they going to do that?
What do you mean?
The turn on
which
100
way?
Bullets. The turn on 100 Bullets where it's making you think it's an anthology show and it isn't.
Oh, I think that's easy. I mean, it's because basically, as I remember it, you come back, you're doing the single stories. You've got Agent Graves as the one guy who's consistent. And then something like 15 issues in, somebody from the first few arcs, the first few stories, returns in another story. So it's almost like it doesn't put on its crazy hat and start dancing immediately. It it goes slowly from one to the other, and it's only it takes a few issues beyond that for it to completely evolve out of the anthology feeling, as I remember it. I mean, I never did finish it because it got to the point where it was so convoluted I had no idea what the fuck was going on anymore. So.
Oh, I do have a question. The young Anthony Hopkins, was that from like 84 Charing Cross Road? Does anyone know where they lifted his face from?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question.
That was good. That was
actually really good. I mean, the fact that they, made it a fleeting glimpse.
Mm-hmm.
That was really nice because it didn't have an opportunity to.
If not, then you're looking at a photo from something that he did. Like what they normally do. It's like, here's a photo. So
right.
No, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. That and don't say anything, but my take is I read something where somebody was talking about alternate timelines.
Yep.
Okay. That's all. Just say yes.
She said not to say anything, Tuffley.
No. You are on the right track, is what I meant.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but don't. I had something spoiled.
Yeah.
Without meaning to, just because I saw it on a T-shirt site.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
All right. Well, no. I'm just reading. I'll actually just write what it is in episodes. So I'm not even. I was just reading up on.
Yeah, I get so paranoid because I'm like, I don't even go to the Wikipedia page because I've had stuff spoiled. Just nobody's meaning to, but they allude to something, and I can go, oh fuck, I see where that's going. Shit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
I'm afraid. Okay.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was afraid. I was gonna ask about Legion. Is anybody watching Legion yet?
I watched the first episode and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really good.
Where's Legion on?
It's on FX.
Or the internet, if you know where to look.
I mean, really good. Just like surprisingly good.
That's a thing over here. I have to just tell him, don't ask. Just don't ask.
What did your friends? What do you say about HBO?
Oh my God. Well, I said, hey, HBO Go is allowing people to share. Had to explain that. He's like, oh, okay. But no, we were trying to watch, what was that movie? The Things We Do in the Shadows.
Right.
That's funny as hell.
I still need to see that.
Oh, it's good.
That's the Flight of the Conchords, guys.
Yes. Well,
yes.
So I have a portable DVD player. It's like, who needs those anymore? Anyway, I didn't have the connector plugs. I'm like, oh, let me go see if somebody will give it to me. Hey, so he's like, oh, he's so funny. He's so cute. He's like, so did your neighbors give this to you? I'm like, yeah.
Sure.
Like, sure.
Yeah.
Just don't ask.
Don't
ask.
Just
It's like the mafia. Just don't ask.
Just do a general post for I need AV connector cables for everything. Just give me all of them that you have.
Yeah.
Just give them all to me.
Yes. So we watched that. That was fun. Yeah, you need to watch it. That was cute. It was fun.
Supposedly there's supposed to be a TV show about the werewolves.
Oh. They were kind of weak.
Yeah.
And this was all they thanked Fran Walsh. When did she die? She died what, 2 years ago?
Did she?
Yes, she
Okay.
did. She is the writing partner of Peter Jackson. She passed away.
I know they did a lot of it in New Zealand, and I know she had done something on the script on that. So, huh.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, she passed away.
Spoilers.
Memorial. In memoriam.
Spoilers for screenwriters.
I,
next
th- I
screenwriter.
think she passed away in between one of the Hobbit films. And I think there was a dedication to her, I believe. So, yes, What We Do in the Shadows that was fun. Fun, you know.
Oh, and speaking of trying stuff and not being able to get through it, did anyone watch the BBC America Dirk Gently series?
Yeah. I did.
You watched? How far? Did you complete it or?
I got till the episode before the finale. They weren't doing it, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Is it that horrible?
Well,
It's hard. Here's the thing, and this is why I had to stop before the finale. You give it enough rope, because this is one of those things where you have to give it enough rope to figure out. By the episode before the finale, they start actually telling you what the hell is actually going on.
How many episodes did you watch?
I think it's like 8 or 9 episodes, because it was a 10-episode series.
Wow.
But it's cool enough to kind of string you along while you're still not sure what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But once they start telling you what's going on, you kind of feel underwhelmed.
Oh. But they're
And
setting.
it's not as clever as it thinks it is.
8 episodes.
Yeah. Oh,
It was
was it?
just 8
Okay.
episodes.
So probably episode 7.
It felt like 10 for Tough
It
Leo.
felt like that. Look, Miracle Day, okay?
Nice.
I'm still not sure how many episodes that fucking thing was. But it felt more clever than it is.
Mm.
And there are some really good, crazy individual performances on it. Elijah Wood is actually really good in this. But it just doesn't make any fucking sense, even when they say what's going on. And I'm not sure, because I know this is actually a Douglas Adams short story, right?
No, it's 2 novels.
No,
Is it 2 novels?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, and I was looking at. Well, I didn't watch a lot of it, but from what I saw, I don't recognize it as either of the novels.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could be completely wrong.
I don't, like I said, I'm not familiar enough with the source material
Do
to know.
you
But,
think, and I'm going on a limb here,
okay.
do you think with Douglas Adams, and I've read the stuff and I liked it, but I also read the stuff back in the 80s, late 80s, and it's almost like he writes in such a, it almost feels dated. Am I wrong?
I think the only person who could adapt Douglas Adams at all very well was Douglas Adams.
Uh-huh.
Because the radio play for Hitchhikers seemed to work well.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the best bits from the TV show seemed to work well, but not. The TV show didn't hold together entirely well, but the radio show did.
Right. Yeah. It did.
And both of those things he had a large part to do with. So all of the posthumous stuff
Mm-hmm.
seems And even if you go back to stuff like Spaceship Titanic,
Mm.
where you go with the video game, where it was sort of finished, after he passed. A lot of it just seems not as good, not as. I think he's the only one who kind of understood that level of humor that he was trying to put in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think when people try to adapt it, they shoot for too clever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Hitchhiker's film did that too.
Yes.
And even though there are some really, really nice bits in the film, it doesn't hold up. And it's the same thing with Dirk Gently, where it just feels too clever, or where it thinks it's too clever than it actually is.
Well, and as to the whole dated thing, I mean, I think it is, but it's dated in that, in the same way that, like, the original I Am Legend novel is dated, meaning you could very easily move it to another time frame
Mhm.
era and it wouldn't suffer. But I agree that it would be it's very difficult to make, especially Dirk Gently, where what killed me was, because again, Elijah Wood, I thought he was great in it, but I lasted 20 minutes. And the reason I lasted 20 minutes is because they had already introduced so many plot lines and I didn't care about any of them.
And that's 20 minutes?
Yeah, they introduced a lot of plot lines.
Yeah, you pretty much get the dog, the gang, and Elijah in like the first 20 minutes, and none of it makes any sense. Yeah, and the assassin.
Mm.
And my problem is that also when Dirk shows up, he's like, "Oh, are you a Clue, a client, or an assistant?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, that is probably the most blatant, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if this turned out to be a new Doctor Who line I've ever heard in my life, And he struck me as so annoying. I'm like, I cannot spend 8 episodes with this guy. And I know I'm going to have to because his name's in the fucking title. But I don't recall in the book, the stuff that happens is really well executed to where when it does fall into place, it's seamless. It feels completely organic. And as all these things are being introduced, it keeps your interest in the books. And the books are great. I highly recommend them. The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul is not as good as the first one, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, but it's still quite good. And I would have loved there to be more. I mean, the Salmon of Doubt was going to be, I think, originally Hitchhiker's Guide. Then it was going to be Dirk Gently, and then I think it went back to being Hitchhiker's Guide eventually. But it just it held my interest and didn't make me feel like, well, we're just going to throw a bunch of shit out here, and then we're going to have to write our way back to it to explain it.
And I mean, there are a lot of good character bits that happen like in the intervening episodes, especially with Elijah Wood, the Elijah Wood character's sister,
right?
And they're kind of exploring that relationship, how he gets to be where he is,
right?
That's kind of interesting. But then the main plot with the assassins and the dog and the murder and where Dirk fits into all of this really. It just either feels padded, or both padded and too clever and a bit more sort of timey-wimey than it needed to be.
Mm.
Like they were actually trying to do like a Doctor Who thing,
right?
Which, and again, I'm not familiar enough with the source material to know, but it didn't feel like.
No, it's not like that at all.
It didn't feel, well, for Douglas Adams, it didn't feel clever enough, even though it thought it was.
Right.
And it wasn't as funny as it could have been.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of felt like they were trying to do sort of Fargo through the prism of something slightly British and funny.
Hmm.
and doesn't end up being that way. Because it seemed a lot like it seemed a lot like, in a weird way, Fargo season 2.
Hmm.
Which is kind of almost, except for that some of the weirder elements is kind of felt like the same thing.
Right.
I just thought, A, I've already seen this, and B, none of it's making any sense.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too is that Gently is not. He's annoying in the same way that, like, Sherlock Holmes is annoying, in that initially when you first meet Sherlock Holmes, he's an ass.
Yeah.
And you go, what the fuck are you even on about? And then eventually you realize, oh, no, wait a minute. You might be an ass, but you actually are fairly effective, you know?
Yeah.
So it didn't strike me as right for the character. And again, I only watched 20 minutes of it, but it was simply, I am not going to be able to survive this. There's too much stuff I need to be watching.
Did he come across as too abrasive to you, or just too weird?
Too weirdly abrasive, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I wonder if they're going to dial that back a little for season 2.
No, that would be smart of them, because it just didn't. It just didn't strike me as interesting enough for him to show up being like that. And again, it's that thing of you're just now at this point you're just trying to make another Doctor Who, because he had that Doctor Who feel in that. Oh, I show up and I'm weird and I know everything, but it's like, no, this isn't working.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I was just curious because I finally got around to trying it out. I'm trying to think of what else. I've seen.
I've kind of fell off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of for the reasons that I thought I would, because I think I remember saying before LMD really started, did I think they were going to give me the kind of story that I wanted, knowing that I've seen the end of Person of Interest and Westworld do this exact story already?
Right.
Way better. No. So I got a couple of episodes in, and then I just kind of haven't gone back to it.
Right. Well, and like I said, I haven't even gotten to LMD yet because
the Ghost Rider stuff is plenty fun. I'll put it that way.
It gets better, and
It gets better.
Like I was saying last time, is I appreciated it. Stuff finally started to happen for me when you had Quake and Ghost Rider fight.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, this is not a matchup I would have anticipated.
Yeah.
You know? So I appreciated that, but the whole and I like the fact that the new director is super powered. I think that's cool.
Okay.
Well, it's a nice twist, but the way they do stuff, the decisions that are made, I'm like, this is a dumb decision.
Yeah, there's an
Because
additional twist with that. When you get to it, I wanna know what your thoughts are about
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
That's where I stopped watching.
Huh. Interesting.
But there's an additional twist on that particular front.
Interesting. Because you figure that out in like episode 4 or something.
Yeah. Oh no, there's
No.
more to that.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah. But I started watching LMD, and it did kind of I was surprised that it didn't exactly go where I thought it was going to go, but
Yeah.
it still went somewhere that I kind of didn't care for.
Yeah.
Meh.
Hmm.
And when you're getting meh about something like that, and it's weird because they keep putting out these releases about Inhumans.
Yeah.
Have you seen these things? I think they casted guy that was on Game of Thrones that was that everybody wanted dead.
Oh, Joffrey.
Yeah. No, the other guy.
Oh, which other guy?
The guy that was on
Hang on. Let me look.
what was the show that we used to like with the superheroes? The British one?
Yeah, this
That
is
guy. That was today, I think.
I can't. Okay, I'm gonna fuck up the pronunciation of his name, but Ewan Rion.
Yes.
He was also in
We can't think of that show either.
God damn it, Vicious.
Yeah.
He was in Vicious.
Oh yeah, he was the
Neighbor.
it was the neighbor, yeah.
So yeah,
He's gonna be I think Maximus.
oh shit, that's good.
So
That's good. I almost that's almost too on the nose. I mean, it's just such good casting. You just go, well, shit. Because based on what I know about, I'm not.
I'm kind of curious to see who else they get for the royal family at this point.
Yeah. That's interesting.
But you keep seeing stuff about Inhumans, and you're thinking, okay, well, we kind of know that the noose is coming out for Shield. We kind of suspect that that's happening.
Well, my question is, are we going to, is Daisy going to wind up somehow in the Inhumans show? Because it can't be just the royal family, because they've established that Inhumans are the mutants.
Yeah. That kind of gets. Have you seen anything I've posted about Legion?
Now, this was the thing about it not being in the MCU, or which thing about Legion?
Okay, so this isn't any spoilers or anything that I'm basing this on. So far, for what we know of Legion, you don't have any. Well, first of all, you know that Legion is not because the producers have said that Legion is not set in the same universe as the X-Men movies.
Okay, right. Okay, that's what you had said. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and I believe they've also said that the new X-Men show will also not take place in the universe of the movies.
Okay.
That's going to be on Fox, but that's probably not connected to this. The other thing about Legion that's interesting is that actual Marvel Studios TV people are involved.
Yeah, I saw that. Jeff Loeb.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Which, it's a thin connection, but you don't see anything else that is a marker or a signpost or a reference that that connects it within any universe, but it also doesn't explicitly say that it isn't in the MCU.
Really? Huh.
Because from what I've seen thus far, I know there's an episode that comes this week, but there's references to the government, but there has not been a reference to the president. So as long as they don't say it's not President Ellis, which would be the thing that connects it to the MCU. But it's interesting that actual Marvel Studios people are involved.
Right.
And it's actually interesting that that so far on Legion, they've been very careful not to set it anywhere that we're familiar with yet in the MCU. So it's possible it looks like until they draw a line where it says this is not that.
Right.
It's absolutely possible that Legion could actually be set in the MCU and they're sneaking mutants in the back door.
Which was my favorite porn.
Also, my thought that you've seen the first episode then at least, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I'm wondering if Sid's rogue.
Her powers are different, though.
Kind of, but no.
Well, I mean, the whole, first of all, the name makes me so happy.
Yes, I thought it would. I thought that was why you were watching in the first place.
No, I mean, honestly, I've been watching because
Noah wrote that for you. That's basically what he did.
well, the trailers made it look absolutely amazing. So,
Yeah.
but
And they used a Jane's Addiction track on television, so yeah.
oh yeah,
When he blows up the interrogation room.
yes, yes. Oh, the soundtrack is great.
Yeah.
I mean, the choice of songs is just awesome. And
Although
know,
I think they blew all the music money on the first episode because there's
maybe.
only music in the credits now. I think from the second episode because they don't use any. I don't think they use any soundtrack stuff. I think they used all the music licensing in the first episode.
Well, I think the other thing too is you don't want it to become that show that
Yeah. But well done on the use of it.
oh yeah, that's one of my favorite Jane's Addiction songs anyway. So
Yeah.
I was in.
But the power set, there's two reasons why I would think that. The power set is just a bit tweaked, but it's still roughly her powers.
Yeah, you just swap.
Yeah, and the other part of it, which makes me wonder about it, because they were developing this show around the time they were doing Days of Future Past. And you remember there was this bit about Anna Paquin filming a bunch of stuff for that movie and then being cut from it.
Right.
And I'm wondering, because Marvel and Fox made this sort of character swap deal where Fox got Megasonic, Marvel got Eros, or Ergo. And they made this deal for the X-Men shows.
Right.
And I'm wondering if it's not Rogue, they kept Rogue out because they were using a similar character in the TV show and that needed to be separate. Also, on the mere technicality that Rogue was actually introduced in the Avengers and not in X-Men. So technically, she may be one of the characters that Marvel can come back and say, aha, we share it.
Interesting.
But it's one of those things. It's one of those things that 2 episodes in, nothing says that it is, and nothing says that it isn't. But it's an interesting. It still appears plausible. I'll go that way.
Well, I would actually really enjoy that because the concept of being able to spread all of that through multiple networks, and as long as they have the ability to here and there cross-pollinate, then I'm fine. I'm hoping we're going to get more of that because I really enjoy that, you know?
Yeah. And it's just also just from this from what Marvel has on TV, that is completely different from everything else.
Yes, and
which is also what I like about it, because they're at least trying to continue to diversify, where Luke Cage is kind of different from Jessica Jones, although it is kind of set in the same universe, and Jessica Jones is way different from Daredevil.
Right.
That sort of thing, where each show is just a little bit different than the next. This is completely different from everything else.
Yes.
So if it is MCU, that just makes it better. But if it isn't, even if it isn't, it still looks nothing like any of the other shows. So it's great.
And it's I also enjoy it simply from the standpoint of you honestly don't know, at least at the end of the first episode, and again, spoilers, if this could be considered a spoiler, I think it's almost taken as given based on the trailers, but
yeah,
I don't know how much of this is actually happening.
Yeah, you don't know how much of it is real. 2 is the second episode's a little more linear. It doesn't time jump as much, but there is a lot of things going on in David's head where you're still not sure what's real and what isn't.
Oh, and by the way, Jean's smart.
Yes.
God, I love Jean Smart.
She's in that? No.
Yes, she is.
In what show?
Legion.
No, I love Jean Smart.
I know, right?
Crap.
She's
I'm writing
fantastic.
that down. So
It's
that's
basically
FX?
it's basically the same guy who did Fargo.
Oh,
So it's basically a lot of people that were in Fargo.
oh, okay. All right.
It's basically a lot of people that were in Fargo, and the guy who plays David was in Downton Abbey, but
Yep.
All right.
but obviously not as twitchy.
Oh.
No, I think I and again, I have not read because I understand there was later a Legion series.
He took over X-Men Legacy, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I have no clue what that series was about. I just remember the original.
Did you check the credits though?
Which?
The credits for Legion, Claremont and Sienkiewicz.
Oh yeah, Sienkiewicz. Yeah.
Yeah, they get the created by credit, which I thought was really cool.
Which is fantastic, and I love the fact that the poster is just a very colorful interpretation of his artwork.
Yeah.
Rob.
Hey, Rob.
It's Rob. Hey, Rob.
Hey, kids.
Hey, everybody loves Rob.
Sure, if you say so.
Hi, Uncle Rob.
Hey, Uncle Rob.
Are you taking a break from Mega Show planning?
Okay, this is like the creepiest episode of Night Gallery ever.
Welcome back, Uncle Rob.
Now, see, that's more appropriate.
You had to wait till I stopped smoking, right?
I didn't know you did smoke.
X, long time past.
Hey, Rob, you would
He's hot.
appreciate this.
Oh,
You
wait.
like your neighbors, don't you?
No,
You like looking into their windows, don't you?
not presently, no.
Well, I was just going to say, Janet should get next door. It's
Oh, we have that.
Oh, you do? See, wow.
Yeah.
Why do you have it?
Because my neighborhood is nuts, and it's been good because it's been great for like, oh, I need a snow shoveler, or do you know a good place that does this or that? But there's so many. Putting the trolley in by where I live, there's so many street closings
Yeah.
and so much weird stuff. It's been really great to like the mayor posts, oh, these are when the following streets are going to be closed, or like basically for a while they didn't have regular recycle pickup on the day it was supposed to, so it's like some days they reconfigured the pickup dates to sort of be more efficient, and so it would help to know that. And yeah, it's kind of cool. There's also one for crime too, which is great.
Oh, well, see, the thing is
Did you say crime or crying?
Crime.
Okay.
Wait, is this
Why?
where your neighbors can say when they're going to commit a crime so that you know?
No, you
When
type
not
in your
around.
zip code. You type in your zip code and your address, and it lists if there's what
Yeah.
crimes have been committed around you. You
See,
know.
that was
Now, okay, now can I ask, do they have an issue about profiling? Because Nextdoor ran into that a little bit because people were profiling.
We haven't had anything like that come up. Honestly, it's been like the most boring thing in the world. Like, hey, I'm starting a knitting circle, or this one woman had like, hey, I'm selling a box of 8-track tapes, and my wife said, don't you dare. And or do you know a good gardener? I mean, so for us, that's what it's been. But,
yeah.
the neighborhood I live in until recently has been fairly quiet and everybody gets along.
But it
So-
hasn't gotten like Craigslist creepy or anything yet, right?
Mine's gotten kind of. It's all right. So I found a gardener. I have a young man gardener. I found my house cleaners. I've got a
Hi,
power
Mrs.
plug so
Rocks.
I could be on this podcast. I also okay. You know the free libraries, the little house libraries everybody has. All right.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
somebody wrote a really cool, I think it was in the New Yorker. And this guy was griping. His wife got him one of those free libraries. Well, here's the thing. If you're going to use the free library, it's take a book, bring a book back. Well,
Yeah.
I had this happen. I actually had to put a call out onto Nextdoor to help me out because I was empty. Nobody was bringing books back or putting in new
Wow.
books. It's like, hello, people, this is how it works. So this guy in, I don't know, we'll say Levittown, just because. He would go and find the most obscure books, like German books on engineering or something crazy. Not even like Lilacs good, but weird, obscure like cookbooks and stuff like that. He would put them out, and they're always gone. So anyway, this is the cool thing about, Nextdoor, because your neighbors will pull together. And like one lady jumped out of the car. I was sitting outside. And she's like, I brought you some books. I'm like, thank you.
Well, yeah.
So, but for us, we'll get the posts. Okay, I live in a diverse neighborhood. And it's like you'll get the post of there's somebody walking down the street in a hoodie. I'm like,
Oh, we don't get that. Yeah.
we get those. We get those.
Yeah.
So I want to do a thing where, you get cosplayers, there's some steampunks walking down the street. Should we be worried? Crap like that. I want to.
The thing is,
You should
someone might
worry
get
until it's
shot in that
furries.
misery.
Furries.
Yeah, you shouldn't be
No.
worried until it's furries.
No. The thing is they'll think they're mascots. Nobody looks into that.
Yeah, no, the only excitement I've had with sightings with neighbors is one, the exchange students next door keep thinking our recycle bin is a trash container.
Oh.
And like where I live, they'll fine you if they if you put trash in your thing. So I have to take their trash out.
Well, is your recycle container is it just a dumpster that's a different color?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
3 of them, and they're on wheels. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to get a coworker of mine who spoke Chinese to go to the door with me and knock on the door and explain to him that he couldn't do it.
Wow.
And yeah, I didn't report. I'm like, I could have reported him and gotten him fined and stuff. I didn't mess with that. I'm like, he just doesn't know, And the other one's been a little more tricky in that we've got some people in our neighborhood that, let's just say, believe the South will rise again. So you
okay.
can't, I know in Missouri people want to put the Confederate flag in your window, but it's not exactly cool. So
It's not cool in the South either, but
yeah. And the thing is, like, the guy had no idea. He's just like, oh, I'm from Mississippi. I'm like, yeah, he's the nicest guy in the world. He just didn't friggin' get it, why it was.
Oh, there's a lost pig.
Dun dun dun.
So-
What the
Well, that's a related story.
Anyone
Barbecue Roxy's.
knows of the lost pig, please call Chris at 904.
Hold on, let me look at my neighbor. Hold on.
Rossi
Is
the pig is friendly and loves kids.
All right, I gotta go get this app. Hold on.
Who
on,
who are the pigs in your neighborhood?
Yeah.
The pigs in your name.
Well, no, the pigs are in space.
Yes. Okay, they found her.
Friend.
Rosie is at home, had a bath,
they-
was dancing around the living room, and
See, I
then
was
sat on the sofa.
See, I was about to ask if they had checked the power station to see if the pig was flying over it.
Yeah, like right now, mine is all stuff about part-time childcare, cleanup.
Where is Roger Waters right now? Anybody know?
One is best local restaurant,
Roger Waters.
vegetarian restaurant.
Not talking
and
to
then-
David Gilmour.
A bunch of us are doing
There's
cleanup.
a pig
on,
flying around.
Oh,
bunch of us
gotcha.
doing- And there's a thing on ours for vegetarian restaurants, babysitters, and then an update on like cleaning up for the cemetery by our house.
Oh,
So
okay.
that is my neighbor. That's about as exciting as it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We get some where they'll say, "Hey, free stuff at the side of the road," type of thing.
Yeah.
You get those.
Yes.
Okay.
But the only problem now is that I think Janet's gotten smart and reads them, and it's like, oh, I better make sure there's not, because I have extraordinary luck. I always like when I hear they're evicting someone from a building. It's like, well, Rox, you get it. You find the greatest things in the world.
I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rox, do you need
well, go ahead.
do you need a calendar of Jacksonville?
A calendar of Jacksonville.
I got 2 of them from my brother-in-law. Got them from this bank in Jacksonville, and we got them for Christmas. But we accidentally got 2. So if you want one with scenic pictures of Jacksonville, you can have it.
No. I know the scenicness. Is
Yeah,
it like, is it old?
No, it's new.
Nah, don't need it.
Okay, I'll give it to Lee.
Now,
Because I got
wait a
David
minute.
Bowie.
Are you sure you know you're talking to Rox right now?
Yes.
Yeah, there was some confusion before.
Yeah, I'm just making sure. It's been a question.
Are you aware of Jacksonville?
Yes.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacksonville on the line. Go ahead.
Oh,
I will be there. I will be there. I will
back.
be there in about 2 months. So
Okay.
for about 2 weeks, Rox. 2 weeks
wow.
of mischief.
Okay.
Oh
So,
my God.
wow. 2 weeks.
My brother-in-law's
Wait a
getting
minute.
his house.
When? Wait, when?
I don't know. I'll send you the dates. My brother-in-law is working on his house.
Oh,
And
okay.
I said, I'm not really good at this. And Jan's like, no. And I said, why don't I just go hang out with Rox and you guys work on the house?
Oh my God, your wife, she'll hate me at the end of
No,
all
my wife likes you. You're
this.
fine.
Yeah, for short periods of time.
No, she thinks you're awesome.
All right. Okay.
No,
Well,
it's
you
fine.
have to know. Okay, so I am taking up, get this, people. I've signed up for mediation certification, so I can help with people who are in disputes. Isn't that scary?
Do you have scales?
You know what? I'm a Libra. I am a scale.
I am too. Yeah. But I mean, I have this old timey scale you can have if you want to use it.
Yeah, I should walk around with it. I should be blindfolded.
You should de-lime yourself.
What do you mean, delime?
We could totally do this for Fun Fest. We could have people write down what their
What their disputes are. Oh my God! You know what we should do is do it,
We
but
can-
have like different random people. It's like I have a dispute about cash registers, and somebody else has a dispute about, trash day or something.
We
And-
cannot do People's Court at the Fun Fest.
Why not? Oh,
Oh,
man, I could be Judge Judy. See, toughly, you ruin things for me all the time.
Oh, it'd be great though. Scott could be Rusty the bailiff.
But
Wow.
I could be Judge Judy, sir. Sir.
Be awesome.
Yeah. Man. My nephew loves watching Judge Judy. It's crazy.
I think she's married to Wapner. Is that true?
Oh no, she caught her husband cheating.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Big
that's
time.
unfortunate.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, Rox, I will send you the
what
dates.
that meant.
I will send you the dates and also the
Yeah.
dates of when I'm in
Because
Boston.
mediation is like April 21st to the 24th. It's a 4-day thing.
Oh, it's end of April because I'm going to DC next in 2 weeks.
What?
So if you want any stuff from DC,
Maybe. But
Well,
yeah,
no.
I will be out of pocket the 21st to the 24th of April.
okay.
Just so you know. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is important. So I can help
Dun, dun.
people and be non-judgmental. It's like- I was watching one where it was like, even if you're a problem solver, keep that to yourself because the two parties must fix their problem. It's like, okay, I can watch this train wreck.
That's okay. That's okay, Rox. You can saw the baby in half in secret.
I know.
Not
Yeah.
again. That trick never works.
Yeah, again. My
It depends on the Cabbage Patch Kid.
yeah.
Oh man.
No. Do people even make those anymore?
I have no idea.
Cabbage Patch Kids?
Yeah.
I think so.
No, not. Oh, no. I was thinking Garbage Pail Kids, but yeah, cabbage.
The Garbage Pail Kids, they never lie.
Let's see, Cabbage Patch.
They brought back Teddy Ruxpin, except for the thing where you can't stick tapes in him, or just other tapes in him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
then
miss
what's the
those
point?
housewives.
Exactly.
When you could go to Showbiz Pizza and put tape in the thing and frighten all the kids.
What is the point of Teddy Ruxpin if you can't just stick an Ozzy Osbourne tape in there? What is that? What is the point?
I don't know.
By the way, you have not lived until you see Teddy Ruxpin do Mr. Crowley. I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
Duly noted.
Tuffley, where are you? It looks like you're on the Ryan set.
The what?
That's his hacker
Yeah,
headquarters.
it's like this like weird looking, like it looks like you're in like a studio or like the set of like the Ryan Seacrest late night show.
Oh no. I'm in my office.
Okay.
My office just has colored lights now because John isn't the only one
Mine
who
is-
has them.
Mine is Bedlam, so congratulations on having it be
Yeah.
organized.
But you have that bed. Is that where you just snooze?
Is that was that why you call it Bedlam?
Bedlam. Yeah.
No.
It's nice to have a secondary
Okay.
television
Yes.
location.
Yes.
All right. There's a Cabbage Patch doll that's going for $100.
Well, people are just dumb.
Look at it. Yeah. Anyway,
Well, you just remind people it's not 1983 anymore, and they move on.
I know.
So Rox, I need your opinion on something, and I know I'm going to regret asking you this.
Maybe I'm going to be a mediator.
She
So,
regrets nothing.
So, a person that I used to be friends with,
Uh huh.
that I hadn't really been in touch with for like 15 years, like died this weekend.
Ooh.
So
Sorry.
I was like, okay, I'll go to the wake because that's what you do, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But then someone reminded me that he's not only really into being a Klingon, but he was really into being a furry. So they're doing the whole thing with like furries.
Oh, I thought you were going to say furry Klingon, and I'm thinking, how exactly do
No,
you
no, no.
negotiate that?
First of all, I'm not dressing up. But second, I'm like,
Okay.
I can't walk into a funeral parlor full of people dressed up in like weird animal costumes.
Yes, you
all
can.
right.
not
Okay.
laugh.
So, all right, Rob.
Yes, you
All
can.
right,
Danger
Rob,
Woman when you need it.
Rob. Okay. So, is his parents still alive?
His mother.
You go for the mom.
Whoa! What is the?
Wait,
Leave the mom alone. She's been
Again.
good enough.
Sorry.
again, my favorite porn.
Holy
I lost-
shit!
Unless she's wearing a costume, in which
She
case...
meant I go to
You attend the wake for his mother. I
Okay.
just read something
Okay.
like that, but
Yeah.
that's what you do. You go attend. If you know the mom, if he's got other relatives,
Yeah.
they're gonna just say, yeah, it was I'm sure she's not gonna be dressed as a mascot or something. So
I don't know about that.
well, either way,
If
Okay.
she's a member of the Rockefeller explosion, just avoid that.
Rox, remind me sometime to tell you about the time I went to Andreas Katsoulis' funeral.
I heard what Maria Sirtis. Who was it that wanted to make sure that he was dead because he actually was signing autographs at her wedding? Did you hear that?
I heard that she was signing autographs at her wedding.
No,
But
well,
he's
he
from-
was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was from St. Louis and he died. And the funeral home was like, well, we went by it because I pointed to you and said, hey, that's where Andreas Katsoulis had his funeral. And so a friend of mine and I were like, oh, we'll just go. Cause I wanted to, and I hadn't seen Peter Jurasik in a while, so I hung out with him mostly. And yeah, but that was it.
Right, but there was an actress that she was making a joke. She's like, I need to make sure he's dead because, he was signing. I think it was Maria Sirtis.
It might have been, if it's not Marina Sirtis, it might have been the chick from Babylon 5.
Well, it was, I think, because Sirtis married Jonathan Frakes finally, didn't she?
No.
Didn't she? No,
No.
she didn't?
No, he's married to Jeannie Francis.
Oh. Well, it was some actress, and he was at her wedding, and he was signing autographs. during the reception.
Yeah.
She's not happy. So she went to his funeral to make sure he was dead, and he wasn't signing anything.
Well, if he was autographing things at his funeral.
Yes.
Did
Well, a lot of people
And
do
by the
spend
way,
a year
if he
dead
didn't
for tax
charge,
reasons.
and by the way, if he didn't charge for those autographs at his funeral, he just wasn't thinking enough.
Right.
He was leaving money on the coffin.
It was just leaving money on the coffin.
God.
So I stepped away for a minute, but did anybody mention that this is going to be the first Dragon Con I can remember in years that Richard Hatch hasn't been there?
What?
He passed away.
Literally passed away, right,
Holy
Ross?
shit! No, really?
He'll be there
Yeah.
in spirit. He'll be there in spirit, and in a way, he always was.
When did he die? When did he
Just
die?
what, like last week or something?
Last week,
Like
yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't in the
71.
New York Times, was it?
I suspect the only people that really it would have to be our world that would notice that.
Well, I don't
Except for
know.
Ross.
You know what? When what's her name? Dr. Elizabeth Sladen passed away. They actually mentioned that on the Today Show, and I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
Why did? Wow.
I'm still sad about that.
Yeah. She was awesome. Richard Hatch. He's not in the New York Times. That's awful. Oh my God, they didn't. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, he is in the New York Times.
But they did pre-write his obituary.
Hmm?
The question is when does the actual
When did they?
when was the actual
had-
informative bit of the obit is over?
He had
That's when they wrote it.
apparently he had
Oh.
pancreatic cancer and it was pretty fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh man.
That's my aunt had that. It's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds like from everything I'd read that it was pretty quick.
Oh. And he was such a nice guy too.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know?
you couldn't go anywhere at Dragon Con without running into him.
No. Mm-mm. Yeah.
They've announced this year's charity too. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, yeah, Special Olympics.
Yeah, Atlanta Special Olympics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
That is cool.
We've got the name charities now.
Yeah. Woo.
We're up to name charities now. Oh yeah.
Well, what was the one last year?
Have no idea.
Last year was the Atlanta Self-Sufficiency Center for Self-Sufficiency,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and I think we basically gave them 5 or 6 years of operating expenses.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was some ridiculous amount because I mean, it's as we mentioned on 50 Days Dragon Con, it's a charity that basically puts people to work and makes sure that they have all the necessary skills to find a job, to keep a job, to keep moving,
Mhm.
and their recidivism rate was like ridiculously low. So like, meaning that people stayed with the program and
That's nice.
kept the job for I think it's like 80% or something. 80%
That's
of the
nice.
time.
That's what putting Lee in a silly costume does.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things.
Wow. Wow.
Exactly. Wow. I don't think we're wearing the same thing actually. So
Probably not. Absolutely not. I already did. Yeah. No, we're not.
So Rob, since you're here, the British, and we're talking DragonCon because I forced the issue. The British media track's filling out fairly quickly.
Yeah. I want. Yeah.
You got Billy Piper, you got
Well, Billy Piper will.
Karen Gillian.
Karen
What's that?
Karen
Billy
Gillian will do other things, and Matt Smith will count his money. Yeah. I think they had to announce. See, I think though is there's a couple other conventions near that time, and I think getting those 3 locked in is great. The CW shows are filming, and
Well,
they don't
Avengers
know,
is here for 2 years, so all of those people are here for like
Yeah.
2 years.
but they also don't know like what other people are going to other cons, because I think there's a convention in Toronto and I think there's one in Oklahoma City. So, yeah. And my fear is that since the Tolkien track is gone, they won't bring back Sylvester. But
Ooh.
he owes me drinks.
Oh.
So
Which is really what you're
That's important.
what you're really worried about.
no,
That's important.
no,
The level of celebrities that owe you drinks.
No, not really.
So basically, what you think is that this was all a ploy by Sylvester to get out of buying your drinks.
Wow.
No, I don't think so at all. I just said I wish they'd get him because he's fun. That's my point. Because there is something to be said about a guest leaving the panel stage, going out into the audience, and actually like walking across people. I mean, it's pretty great.
Walking
So,
across people?
yes, he does literally everything. Like he'll walk on top of chairs. He'll cut in front of people. He'll pull weird things out of his pockets and tell people to hold on to them, and then come back 45 minutes.
I do that too, but that gets me arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what? To be fair, what you're asking them to hold.
It's fairly
It's like chewing
small.
That
Oh, I
was-
mean,
Ooh.
That was not the night of 1,000 fist bumps, just in case anyone's
No.
wondering.
Those weren't
Yeah.
fist
So
bumps.
anyway. But no, I
No.
think it'll be great to have Billy Piper and Karen Gillan and Matt Smith there. I think it'll be interesting. I'd like to see some older Who actors, but I understand why they don't.
now, would you also like to see some older members of the Who,
I've seen older members
As
of the Who.
opposed- as opposed
have
to
to yell
younger
very
members
loud.
of the Who?
Well,
Younger members.
Well,
I'd have to yell
John, to
very
be fair,
loudly,
there's only 2 of them left.
and I'd have to yell very loudly,
Uh,
and I'd probably have to keep Scott away from Roger Daltrey's wardrobe the entire weekend.
Well, Daltrey
Nice.
has been on the Highlander.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
that
I can't imagine the Who playing Dragon Con. I just don't think that's gonna happen.
that would be awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like people forgot about us.
Well, didn't
I mean, I've been trying to get the B-52s to do it for 10 years, and you can't get the B.
They were barely able to give Jefferson Airplane.
I actually walked in on that concert.
Oh, really?
I did.
Wow.
how horrible was it?
I'm sorry.
Was it? No, it was Starship, wasn't it? That's
It
what
was
they were saying.
Starship.
It was
Well,
Jefferson
actually-
Starship.
It was Starship 3 or something because, Grace Lick had retired. So I don't even know if is
You
it
know-
Marty Ballin still around?
Yeah,
I
I don't know who they were, but they didn't build that city on rock and roll.
no.
I think it was just Phillips and his kids, wasn't it?
I think so. And they were late and everything, and nobody was there. They had some like stormtroopers up there dancing, and it's just like, okay, this is sad.
What
Because
was-
I saw them years ago. They opened up for Night Train.
yeah.
Was a crowd so small that you leaving felt like you felt awkward?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
air went out of the room, John.
It did, and everyone stopped, and they were like, "Where's she going?"
They literally suffocated after because she turned the oxygen off, but that they suffocated in
Exactly.
the Starship.
But John, getting back to your question, Matt Smith is like really great with kids
Mhm.
in terms of like talking to them and stuff.
Good.
And Billy Piper's gotten a lot better at doing cons and sort of like telling interesting stories.
Yeah, I saw her at Tampa MegaCon here.
Yeah.
And it was they do God, I hate MegaCon for so many reasons. It's local, so it's
I don't even go
Good.
to it, Don, anymore.
it's but their freaking pay to watch ticket nonsense.
Wait, what is
What,
it?
what are you paying
What?
to watch, John?
You
Is this
pay-
something else where you ask someone to hold something?
Well, it was David Tennant and Billy Piper, and
What does this pay to watch?
Oh, they had a special, pay an extra $30 to be in the same ballroom you've been in all
What
week.
they do is they have a ballroom, right? And it'll
Right.
seat like the rows will go like A through W, right?
Right.
But they sell VIP tickets, so those will be like A through S,
oh.
and those people are guaranteed seats. But what sucks is if they don't sell those tickets, they don't fill them. So then,
Well, it goes even further with that to that with MegaCon, Rob. You actually can't go in the room unless you pay at least $30 a person
yeah.
extra on
Wow.
top of the 100 and something that you paid
What?
for your ticket.
Now, having said, and I know it's a lot of money and stuff, David Tennant though really is the nicest guy in the world.
It's great, but all we were doing is watching a panel. It was an extended panel of it was like an hour and a half as opposed to an hour.
I will. There's things with these sort of cons that I don't want to talk about because I'll get in trouble, but I will text you or email you about. They drive me nuts.
Well,
Because
I mean,
the people that do fine. The people that do the interviews do the same questions with them every single con. So if you see them at blah 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 con in Oklahoma and then blah 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 con in New York, it's the same panel.
I can tell you this. I know that last year, I guess it was because of MomoCon and them merging or whatever. Lee had a couple of panels hosted by a guy that I absolutely despise from MegaCon, who's a horrible interviewer. Who
You should text me his name. I bet it's the same guy I don't like.
Who is he? An
'Cause
architect?
I have a mortal enemy.
Is your guy an architect?
No, I don't
My
think
guy's-
so. Not that
My
guy.
guy's an architect.
No.
I know the guy that Rob's talking about.
Yes. And I'm trying not to get any of us in trouble.
Yes.
This guy makes it about himself every single freaking time.
Yes.
Now I had the guy who did
So wait, there are other Terry Grosses in the universe?
the guy who did Tampa MegaCon and was their main room host guy. He wasn't terrible. I mean, but this may be the guy you're thinking of. Is your guy from a website?
Yes.
And it's probably.
I'll just tell you about it later.
Here, I'll just type it. Oh, you can see the chat, right?
Yeah.
I'll just chat the name of the. From that website?
Hold on, I don't see the chat. I'm on my phone. Yeah, I don't see the chat. Hold on.
I don't know how I can't help you with that part.
Yeah. No.
No. Okay.
I'll tell you about it later.
John, you have 60 seconds and you can't use your hands. Go.
No.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
It ends in an R.
That's all right. But what I was saying is that guy wasn't too
No.
bad. He was actually better than the guy they normally have. But the guy that So to your point, he the guy that I hate, he took over some of Lee's panels, and I don't care if I get in trouble because whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, I do care, I guess. But no, I don't like him because he seems to always make it about himself, and it was always just annoyed me. He did the another one of those special nights with Stan Lee, and he kept calling him his dad.
Ew! Ew!
And I was just like,
why?
and Stan Lee was even. You could tell that he was just. Besides the fact that Stan Lee can barely hear anymore,
Yes.
you could tell that he was just uncomfortable when he finally did hear what he said.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I've seen that art. Some guy did that for that Who Wants to Be a Superhero. It's like, do not call somebody your dad. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable for me, and I'm far away in regular land. It's
No.
gross.
John, it is so bad that if I actually see this guy, I will hit him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll pay money for that.
But,
Really?
Yeah, I will pay money for that.
I'd probably wear a mask. But,
I don't have to.
well, everyone likes you. So, Or I could just have you run him over with the bike.
I could.
You could mediate it.
Oh, either
After the
that
fact.
or just be annoying. Remember in elementary school when you walk behind somebody and you step on their heel, make their shoe come off? I
Oh,
could do
did
that
he?
all weekend long.
Did he run over your foot? Listen, we should take care of this. I'm a mediator. We can settle this right now.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
That could be your game. That could be your game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
Oh, and yeah, he the same guy that I'm talking about. He interviewed Haley Atwell, and it was also very uncomfortable.
yeah, I think it is him.
Okay, well, I got his name.
We had
right here.
Haley Atwell, we had her in St. Louis, and yeah,
That's the guy. That's the guy I'm not particularly fond of.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the guy I was thinking of, Rob, because you have multiple arches.
Well, it could be a different guy, but I think you know the guy.
I know at least 3 of your arches, Rob.
No, it's just one. And my only beef with him is that he does the same panel everywhere, and it's not even. It's like totally self-serving.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So.
Oh, I thought that John, I thought you wrote Mekon.
Yeah.
That's that guy's convention. It's Mekon. It's all about me.
So
Welcome to Mekon.
having said that, Rox, are you excited about Tilda Swinton?
Oh, you guys stop it. You guys stop it.
What?
It's not going to happen.
What?
It's not gonna
Have you
happen.
seen her schedule? It's not going to happen.
What? Damn it.
It still could.
Don't
You never know.
According to Rob and other people in the world, Tilda Swinton is the odds favorite to.
She's the odds favorite, which doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, for that to happen, they'd have to agree to only producing maybe 3 episodes of Doctor Who a year.
They're talking about cutting back to 8.
No!
They're talking about doing 8.
Wow.
So yeah, one of the things they've talked about is 8, and then the other person they were talking about doing it also has a busy schedule. So yeah, what I think they're doing
There's
is
no way.
Well, I
think
think they're putting her out there so they can say we considered a woman doctor and her schedule was too busy, and then nobody can say they didn't try to get one.
I think they're still considering a woman, and I think it's possible. But here's the thing: I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I don't want to know yet. I just don't want to know.
What you're thinking?
Exactly.
Come on, tell me what's on your mind.
Here's the thing: when you have a thing that says Tilda Swinton is Bookie's favorite to be new Doctor Who. Now, did anyone see the movie Rat Race? There are bookies out there that will bet on anything.
yes,
Yep.
So,
but I still think that I have no problem with it being a woman if it's only Tilda Swinton. Other than that, it's got to make sense. Let's just not cast a woman because it's a woman.
right.
By the way, John, you know what's on my mind? Pure energy. That's on my mind.
Now that guy's weird.
You're welcome.
We were.
You ever seen the
Okay.
VH1 Bands Reunited on Information Society? You have to.
I did, and yeah, that was pretty odd.
Yeah. Whenever I feel inferior and sad, I put that on.
Wow.
All right. So from the Daily Mail, it says Peter Capaldi announced he was leaving. Was he pushed out?
I don't think we know yet. I think it's a
Alright.
little of each. I think he just got fed up with a couple different things and walked out. I don't think he was pushed out, but I think he wanted a couple things, didn't get them, and threw his heads up in disgust and walked out. That's what I think.
Well, I think he wasn't. I think at the end he wasn't happy, and he didn't want to go through the next guy, and also he can invoke three-year rule, and that seemed to work well.
I mean, I don't think it's anything to do with Chibnall. I think it's the shooting schedule is painfully brutal.
Well,
I mean, every one of the new series doctors has complained about the shooting schedule, right?
Well, he went from like Musketeers directly into this, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's what cost Christopher Eccleston being Voldemort. You know, is he couldn't do Voldemort because he was stuck because of Doctor Who.
Although I kind of want him on Veep now.
Yeah,
I kind of want him on
But-
Veep.
yeah. So I think
That would
you
be
know,
fun.
I think he realized, you know, and there's an issue with his pay, and I think there was an issue with the shooting schedule, and he has to know the scripts are going to get better, you know. So who knows?
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those things I don't want to know yet.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd like to not know.
I'd like to not know. I'd like to see if they can keep it a secret until the second it happens, but they won't.
No, that'd be hard. Very hard.
Yeah.
Also, my favorite porn.
We were rewatching
Your favorite porn?
Moonrise Kingdom the other day.
Isn't it great?
That's a great
Yes,
movie.
and
It is. Yes, social services. She's great in that.
She's great in everything.
They should put her in a DMV. I'd stand in line.
I'm kind of excited about the Feud TV series that's coming on with Susan Sarandon. and
Oh
Nicole
my God, yeah.
Oh yeah,
They play
and
Joan
this is
Crawford
what
and
this
Betty
is.
Davis.
yeah.
This is the making of What Happened to Baby Jane. Is that?
Yeah, whatever happened to Baby Jane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And they hated each other. They really
Yes.
did. Mm-hmm.
In the same box, and I don't. They hated each other.
Hey, it'd be interesting if they get somebody that would play Victor Buono.
No, they got some. I saw the cast list. It's kind of interesting,
Huh.
but
Oh yeah, it's a deep cast. Have you? You can look at it. They've already posted like the opening credits, so you can see who the cast is.
Yeah, it's like Stanley Tucci's in it.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if is he Selznick? No.
I don't know. No,
yeah.
he plays a regular director because he has
Oh,
to
yeah.
take orders. They're like, hey, you have to work with them. He's
Yeah.
like, no. Oh, so American Horror is going to be a political.
Great. Another
Yeah.
thing.
That might be interesting.
I don't watch the news anymore.
I don't either, and that's why
just
I
watch
missed
John
out on
Oliver. You
that.
get all
Sean.
you need.
That's why
Whenever I want to watch the news now, I just turn on a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
That's,
I don't know.
It's pretty accurate.
You know what? There's some whitewashing in that.
Yes,
Okay.
that's my connection to the political world.
Okay. Yes. They changed up the maid.
Yeah,
You know,
and
yeah.
to be fair, the Heckle and Jekyll cartoons. are
I
still
love
good.
that. Yes. They are. They are indeed.
Yeah. So
Well, I need to saunter off. I get up at dark 30,
yeah, I do too.
so I can go swim.
All right,
I
you
have a meeting too.
crazy weird people.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
I've got
so
it.
my recommendation
Yes.
is Ted Chiang's book Stories of Your Life and Others. So this is the short story series compilation that brought you The Arrival. And I really enjoy his writing. He handles the story of your life, which is the basis for The Arrival. It was funny because my boyfriend had this first, and he's like, "It seems very mundane." I'm like, "Well, life is mundane." I'm like, "This is what happens."
Yes.
So, for him handling time travel and language in a short story is an impressive feat. Some of the other stories,
Spoiler for The Arrival.
I didn't say anything, did I?
But can there really be spoilers for Arrival?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you seen Arrival?
Yeah.
I have not.
Yes.
How is you didn't? Oh my
Because of
god!
winter.
Gosh. No, sorry.
Listen, you can spoil The Arrival. It's a bad Charlie Sheen movie. That one you can do.
Oh,
It's fine.
yeah.
Wow.
The Arrival you can do.
Yeah.
Arrival is
Arrival. I apologize.
There you go. Let's see.
See? No, we didn't give up anything just that.
No, we didn't.
Fine.
China Mieville Swin, he posts in China Chiang's hand science fiction really is the literature of ideas. And that is true. It's true. I haven't really read a science fiction book in some time.
Nice.
We're also, Jacksonville is doing the big read, and we're doing The Namesake. So that'll be on the book club, I believe. I forgot who wrote that, but there's a movie as well, The Namesake.
It's Juba Linhari or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, she also did. Oh God, I forgot. But yeah, it's like Jumpa, Jhumpa something.
Yes.
Lahari, L-I.
I'm just saying yes, just
Yeah.
because. Sounds
Sorry.
good. That's what I got. Oh, and I'll go on a limb with this one. The MagSafe to MagSafe 2 converter for $9. My boyfriend freaked out when he saw how much a plug cost for an Apple product. I'm like, look, let me explain the 1984 commercial that started all of this. So that 1984 was not like 1984.
So at what point in the discussion did you guys get to USB-C?
Then explain the current situation that we're in.
Yes. Yes.
To both of those?
Yeah. Nice.
I bought into this since 1984. There you go. I'm not switching now. It's hard to. It's all shiny.
No matter how many cables they make me buy.
Yep. It's all shiny goodness. It's like,
Nice.
see this? It's a pretty machine. Yes, I can do it on a PC, but I will not. From my cold, dead hands.
That's what Parallels is for.
What?
That's what Parallels is for.
Yes. Yeah, I don't even. I mean, there was a time I had a track phone and a Palm Pilot. Those are gone. See what happens. Throw away technology, and then
The
you're stuck with-
future always catches up with you.
It is. So you get Apple
Understanding that
products.
The future is now.
No, the present is now, and so you must learn how to be mindful of the present and enjoy what time you have currently. You cannot control the future, and you would be mired in the past and cause suffering to yourself if you think of the past, John.
And besides, John, you can just send drones into the future. It's easier.
And that's me helping you out as a mediator.
Oh, by the way, I installed Nextdoor or whatever it's called. And if you're missing a drone, they found one in someone's backyard.
Oh man! Oh,
She's got to go get it.
I should post.
she's upset
I
it
should
made
post
that far.
is mine. Yeah, I should say, hey, there's a drone missing in Tampa.
You need an AV connector for your drone.
Yeah, I do. All right, I need to go. Bye.
right.
Bye.
You didn't say you were done.
Done. Dang.
Well, she is now.
Bye. Okay, you can talk about me.
Okay.
So that
Thanks.
rocks.
Thanks, Lee.
Bye, Lee. See you tomorrow.
Yep.
Amazingly, she stayed awake the whole time.
Wow. What changed?
I don't know why it's dark in here.
We changed the folder's crystals.
Don't take down your pants.
Those weren't crystals, John. So it's us.
So
Yeah.
I watched Magnificent Seven, the remake.
And
It was fun. It was not, let me put it to you this way: it's no Silverado, okay? But
You got the sense it wasn't trying to be, though.
no, I know, and the thing that people forget
And
is that you used to have, like, Westerns used to literally be a dime a dozen. I
Yeah.
mean, so to me, it felt like that. It was just being a Western, you know?
yeah, it wasn't trying to be, significantly huge or profound. It was just, it looked like it was trying to be fun.
Yeah, and the most fun part of it was Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. Because I don't think you get if you were really trying to do an honest to God remake of that film, then maybe you don't get that group. You know what I
Right.
mean?
No, that makes sense.
But those group of guys, it seemed like they were trying to have more of a kind of a fun picture than a strictly remake of the original film, which is sometimes better. Or
No, yeah,
sometimes
I agree.
or sometimes not, I won't say better, but in terms of that film, it seems to be better than trying to
More enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, you couldn't have remade, not really, the original Ocean's 11
No.
like the original Ocean's 11, and instead you did what we got, which was, quite fun. But no, it was good. Vincent D'Onofrio was good. Chris Pratt was really good. Denzel Washington's always a badass. But no, I Vincent D'Onofrio it's worth watching just for him, because he's fucking crazy, enjoyably crazy.
I saw Lego Batman.
Oh, how was it?
We haven't gone to that yet. How is it?
It is, as some have said, the best Batman movie ever. I don't know
Wow.
I don't know that that's the case. It is certainly the most fun Batman movie ever.
Is it awesome?
It's pretty awesome. I was crying probably from laughing. Probably about 5 minutes into the film. It was pretty nonstop, and it had, much like the Lego movie. Widge, have you seen it yet?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Much like the Lego
I know,
movie,
I saw
it was freaking hilarious, but had a nice little heart to it. It wasn't just about selling Legos. In fact, if anything, there was less Lego-esque stuff. I mean, it was all they're all obviously Legos, and everything was Lego built, but
I've seen the Master Builder joke.
there's a couple of Master Builder references in there. But it's really good, and I don't know, they get it, I guess, was my point, is that they get that it's not supposed to be super serious, but they kind of take the archetype of Batman, this loner guy, make him all about himself, and then it's interesting what they did with his. First of all, they brought out every D-list Batman. I mean, the Egg guy was there, Crazy Quilt. I mean, they literally. One of the jokes was, and then you go, that can't be a real character. He said, it's worth a Google. What was the Egg guy's name again? Eggman? Was it just Eggman?
No, it was Egghead, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah.
The guy who actually literally, his weapons were mostly eggs.
Yeah, it was Vincent Price played him in the '60s series.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Condiment Man. That was-
Wow. Okay.
Yes. It was the roll call of every crappy Batman side villain ever. And what was great too is that the Bane, even though he only had like a few lines, he did it as though he was Tom Hardy, as doing an imitation of Tom Hardy.
Unfortunately,
Nice.
so is Tom Hardy. Have you
Oh.
seen that, Taboo?
Yes,
Oh,
I
I've
have,
not,
and
no.
I'm
Yeah.
quite enjoying it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
There's one, definitely.
Ah,
I haven't actually watched it, so I don't know. But yeah, I highly recommend that, and I will check out Magnificent Seven. How did you watch it? Did you watch it on Blu-ray or?
Yeah, I basically rented it off of
Oh, okay.
Amazon. I think I can't remember which service I used.
Okay.
I saw Hidden Figures.
How was that?
That was really good.
How did you watch it? They were hidden, weren't they?
In the theater on Super Bowl night,
What? You missed the Super Bowl?
next door to a Super Bowl party that was happening in the screen next door. So we knew what was going on in the game as it was happening.
Did
during
you
the
rise?
film.
I take it you didn't rise up because you would just be let down.
Well,
He did rise up, and then he asked someone to hold it for him.
but that was only the lady with the popcorn.
So Hidden Figures. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a nice film. It's a really interesting story.
Was Kevin Costner playing Kevin Costner?
Kevin Costner was playing typical Kevin Costner, which means that he was pretty good.
He was an authoritarian with a heart of gold
He was.
and a tough
He
exterior.
was.
Wow. Imagine that.
Because it's the typical Kevin Costner role.
But it does work for him, and
It does.
he's actually gotten better at it with age.
Yeah. Him getting older actually makes that work better. As opposed to
I would argue he is the best part of Man of Steel, but anyway.
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
he was one of the best parts of, if not the best part of
What
that
was it,
new Jack Ryan.
Jack
Yeah,
Ryan, yeah.
yeah. But no, he was fantastic in Man of Steel. He made that movie watchable, which is no mean feat.
So,
But
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you.
Yeah. But it was a really good film and really interesting story. It's just a nice film. It was just a really good story and a nice film. Really good performances. Janelle Monáe was cute.
Was she now?
Yes, she was. But she was also really good at it. I haven't seen Moonlight yet. We want to go see that at some point, but she's also in that. But it was a very good film. Really enjoyed it. Which kind of led to a weird discussion of Pharrell.
Sorry.
Pharrell.
Pharrell does a lot of the soundtrack stuff on Hidden Figures, and we've noticed he's kind of gotten into this. So, and I think our point of reference may be something else. I'll get to that in a minute. But how Pharrell is on his own records, as opposed to when he's doing like soundtrack stuff, where he's all audiences Pharrell,
Yeah,
as opposed to like the nerd stuff in his own records.
right.
Because I have this feeling like people are going to go buy Pharrell stuff, particularly the Hidden Figures soundtrack, and go, oh, he's a nice guy. Let's see what's on his other albums. And they'll like get the first nerd album and, oh.
That would be
Freak
pretty
out.
great.
Because I seem to remember when R. Kelly had this movie soundtrack phase, right?
Right?
Where, he did these nice, lovely little ballads for films, and then people would go buy chocolate, then kids would go buy Chocolate Factory, and their parents would get really pissed off that the record store let the little children buy Chocolate Factory.
Nice. And I'm trying to think. Well, the thing about that I can remember is when my parents rented From Dusk Till Dawn because that nice George Clooney from ER was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work out either.
No, it didn't work out.
So speaking of Kevin Costner being Kevin Costner, I was putting together the
Kevin Costner?
He was putting together Kevin Costner the other day. No, I was putting together.
That must have been difficult. Did you remember the glasses?
How could you forget the glasses?
Exactly.
I went for like a Postman, Kevin Costner.
Oh, really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was on
Really?
clearance.
Did it come with a detachable Tom Petty?
Now, you guys heard the
No, it came with Paper. Have you seen Paper?
you guys heard the story about Roger Ebert and the Postman, right? I can't remember if I told that one.
No. Do tell.
Well, when Roger Ebert, you remember he was ill for a long time, and
And the Postman did not help.
no, but it actually did help, and I'll tell you how.
Oh.
When they sent him Academy screeners, what they did was they labeled them all as the Postman, so no one would want to steal them. True story.
Nice. Anyway, what I was gonna say was I was putting together a say what for the Unique Geek podcast, and it was bad love themed, and what I realized was Michael Douglas has been an asshole in pretty much every film he has ever made.
Yeah.
Nice.
And to which Aaron, of course, pointed out, you play what you know. But yeah, no. Literally, I was like looking for scenes from audio from bad romance films, Romance Gone Wrong or what have you, and pretty much every single one stars Michael Douglas.
Although you kind of wonder, you remember the game, right?
No. Oh, you mean the movie, The Game?
Yes. That by the time you get to the game, that sort of makes the Michael Douglas is a jerk thing really satisfying.
Yes.
Because you spend like half the film going, yeah, I really hope he gets it, and then he does.
Yeah. Well, you got spoiler for a movie that's 20 years old.
Yes.
What do you call it? So you got Fatal Attraction, you got Basic Instinct, you've got
Wall Street.
Wall Street. Yeah, fair enough.
Wall Street. Yeah.
What was the one with what's her name? Demi Moore.
The Net. Was
No.
it The Net or Disclosure?
Disclosure.
Disclosure.
In fairness, she was also turning the tables on him at that point, but he still was a dick.
Yeah. Romancing the Stone.
Romancing the Stone.
Jewel of the Nile.
Let's see.
No, that was Danny DeVito. No, that was Michael Douglas. Oh my God.
Even Ant-Man. Though I guess he didn't have really a love interest in that. God, there was another one. I can't remember what it was. Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct.
Well, there was also the
Go
Wall
ahead.
Street sequel, right?
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I learned from that one?
That Money Never
Money-
Sleeps.
Money never sleeps. Exactly. I didn't even know that money had a nap time, but apparently
I did not either.
because it doesn't sleep. So
Go figure.
yeah. So don't bother putting it to bed,
No, you can put it under your bed.
but it still won't sleep.
Nope.
It'll keep you up all night.
Well, yeah, exactly. Take it from me. That's how, when I run out of coffee, I'm like, give me some money.
Did you actually see that film?
Which one?
Wall Street 2, Money Never Sleeps.
No. I mean, I like the first one all right, but not enough to go, you know what? I want more of this. Why isn't there more? Why isn't this a franchise? Yeah, I didn't do that.
Make a franchise out of, basically a lot of stocks and idiots.
Oh, in the third one, make him president. Never mind.
Speaking of Fatal Attraction, though, you guys have seen the Saturday Night Live Kellyanne Conway, Jake Tapper skit, I hope.
I
Yeah.
have not. No.
Oh God, you must. It's fantastic. It truly the greatest thing to have come out of this nightmare is that Saturday Night Live, who knew that they will one day be getting the, some kind of Medal of Honor.
It's weird though. Like McKinnon's McKinnon's the only cast member involved though.
Well,
Right.
She's just so fucking good.
Yeah, but like everything else is stunt casting.
Well, no, Putin's from the cast.
Oh, okay.
And well, I mean, they have to have the rest of the cast to be reporters, basically.
Yeah. But Melissa McCarthy was killer though.
Oh my God, she was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best one of them, to be honest, so far as Melissa McCarthy as Spicer. That's
the first one. The first one was the best. The second one was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And I quite honestly, my favorite bit of the first one, the bit that is easy to miss, is when I think I mentioned this last time, is when McKinnon as Betsy DeVos is taking a question. He goes, "Yes, the man." Like the vaguest, weirdest thing. I thought it was great.
Magic School Bus coming soon. Because Kate McKinnon's going to be the new voice on Magic School Bus.
Really?
Yep.
Didn't even know that was coming back.
Yep. Netflix is bringing that back. Netflix is bringing back everything.
Well, and we were talking earlier about were you on the call when we were talking about the Julie Andrews series?
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Okay, yeah. So
because they've got MST2 coming. So
is that Netflix?
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater is going to be Netflix.
Oh wow, okay.
They bought in. So that's coming. And I think they're starting to show those actually. Not on Netflix, but I know Joel and Jonah are doing going around playing a couple of episodes in theaters. So apparently we will have something soon.
Interesting.
Did anybody watch the Grammys?
Oh, there was Grammys?
There were Grammys. Those.
I keep meaning to watch because I keep hearing the Bruno Mars was pretty great. But I've yet to watch any of it.
Here's the thing about the Bruno Mars thing. The Bruno Mars thing, he looked like he was having a good time. And I think by itself, that makes the performance okay. That makes it better. A lot of people are kind of nitpicky that maybe someone actually associated with Prince should have done it. But
well, let me ask you this question. Had Prince not passed away prior to the previous Grammys?
No, he hadn't passed yet.
Oh, I thought he had. I thought him and Bowie were like bang bang.
No.
Prince was a couple months later, right?
Yeah, Prince was a couple of months later. Because he was wasn't he a presenter last year?
I don't even remember.
I think he was a presenter last year.
Would have had to watch the Grammys to know that.
Yeah, I think he was a presenter last year. But yeah, they did. I was gonna say if they had done a tribute to Lemmy, that probably would have been. That was on top of Bowie.
Oh, I think it was Lemmy and then Bowie, right?
Yeah, because it was actually the same week. Lemmy and Bowie were theoretically the same week. Because Lemmy was one Sunday and Bowie was the next Sunday.
It was so hard to keep track.
But yeah, there were a lot of people. But no, they had the time. Here's the thing: they had the time first, and again, the time was really, really good. Because the time.
Yep.
And then that led into the Bruno Mars thing because the whole setup was like the Purple Rain setup. Although the connection, James Corden didn't quite make the connection between the time and Prince as well as he could have. But yeah, so the time was the first part of the Prince tribute, and then the Bruno Mars thing was second. But it was interesting. It was a good performance. The Lady Gaga Metallica thing looked stupid. It sounded great, but it looked stupid. Which I guess is kind of how you kind of rate Metallica things now. Although I started wondering if they could just always cut James's mic off, because I think that instantly enhances most Metallica shows that I've been to.
Well, isn't it the case that he's not supposed to be singing anyway?
Yeah, I mean, he was supposed to be on vocal rest anyway, but he was doing.
Sorry, air quotes around singing. Go on.
Yeah, he was doing lead vocals with Gaga anyway. For the exception of like his mic didn't work for like the first 2 minutes.
Right. And by the way, I do like Metallica.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoy. I like up to probably Black Album. And
I can always find
start,
one or two things that I enjoy. In fact, I'm not a Metallica fanatic, but I always find one or two things. It's great to code to. I'll tell you that.
All of the albums through the Black Album are pretty solid. Load gets a little iffy. Reload gets a little more iffy. And then Saint Anger is a bit weird. And Saint Anger is a bit off. And then the last couple of records have been Death Metallic. I think once they got the mixing problems fixed, sounded a lot better. I haven't heard enough of Hardwired yet to have an opinion on it, but what I've heard of it is okay. But again, they're kind of getting to the point where, they're just going to tour. And they could they're kind of I think they've kind of hinted, Lars said something to the effect of they may do something else with Gaga, which I wouldn't mind. But they've also gotten to this point where they did an album with Lou Reed and it was terrible, but they came out of it okay. You know what I mean?
Ask you, what is your guys' take on Gaga? What is... how do you feel about her? Are you Gaga over her? Oh my God, John, you're so hilarious.
She's, when she's on, she does really brilliant dance music, and she's also very interesting where she can do that singer-songwriter vibe really well. And I think when she goes, I was really interested when she did the thing with Tony Bennett. As far as her singing goes, that was kind of the high point of that, where that was just a singer record, which I think she held her own pretty nicely on that.
Mm-hmm.
I have the new album. She's trying to be a singer-songwriter. I don't think she's quite there yet. But I think it's at least a little more genuine than what was it, the art pop art, the last thing she did.
I couldn't tell you.
Because when you get into a race of out weirding yourself, at some point it's too far. You go too far over the top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think I think at least the Joanne record is a bit more grounded. So she's trying, and that's good. And she can sing. She can actually sing. So
now, did you watch her Super Bowl performance? I know that you were in the middle of watching Hidden Figures.
I was in the
Did
middle
you
of
hear her Super Bowl performance?
I actually watched one of the replays of it, and she, again, it was the bits where she actually did live voice as opposed to singing to a track, as opposed to lip syncing. I mean, it sounded well. And I mean, she announced a tour afterwards. I mean, that's kind of the point of these things, right? But yeah, it was okay.
And yeah, for only $200 a seat, I can go see her as well here in Tampa.
Not really interested in paying $200 to see Lady Gaga.
Yeah, neither am I.
Really not. I actually, as far as ticket sales go, there are very few people I would pay $200 to go see. Honestly.
Yeah, quite honestly, the people I would pay $200 to go see are all dead, so they have to come back from the dead.
I've got a small list, and admittedly, McCartney's one of them, but I keep getting chances on that one, so I don't know. Oh, this could be the last time he tours, and then he comes back. So, yeah, McCartney would be one of them. I have a curiosity in because I've heard about I've heard Springsteen shows are pretty legendary. Seeing them live, so Springsteen maybe. But that's about it.
You know what I would say though is that if you had a chance to see a band in a very small venue where it was a very intimate kind of, you could actually see the fucking band. To me, that would be, depending on the band, that might be worth $200 just because these days, as we've discussed before, I almost feel like I just want to.
Well, when the Stones
did
that, the Stones did like 5 years ago. That would have been interesting. When they were doing the kind of semi-acoustic tour, when they were playing clubs.
Right.
That would have, right before they did their big 50th anniversary shows, they did like this small club tour where it was them kind of almost acoustic. Which was kind of interesting. I probably would have shelled out for that. But would I see the Stones in an arena? No. Would I see the Stones in a stadium? No.
Yeah. Like I said, you just wait for the Blu-ray and then you can see everything.
Yeah, they put those out all the time. So, but yeah, there's very few bands that I would, I cringe when I spend more than $50 a ticket on a band.
Yeah, it would have to be something special.
I mean, and Rob was talking about, and Rob's talking about coming down and doing festivals. I'm like, festivals not my jam. Can't do that.
Yeah, I can't. Not anymore. It's just, again, it's the same thing of, it's usually, the outside is not kind to me.
Well, no, it's not kind to me, and now it's not particularly kind to Kim. So it's not like we can spend prolonged periods of time in the outdoors with people who smoke. So,
but after a period of time being outside with that smoke, you don't care anymore. So,
well, if it was always that smoke, John. But also a lot of the festivals now are on our stream. Like, if I can tune into the Bonnaroo stream, why would I go?
Yeah.
If
DragonCon is streaming this year.
Yeah. Well, but if I could go to Coachella streams everything except for apparently that one Prince set. But yeah, all the festivals stream now. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Shaking Knees, streams next year or this year. But everybody streams, so it's sort of like, what's the point? I mean, I'm going to get, if Pink Floyd actually do play Glastonbury, I'm going to be able to watch it, so it's fine. Which they're not, by the way.
Is that confirmed?
So here's the deal with that. They asked him if they would play it. Roger said he would, because the last time he played it, and he couldn't remember when, but he seemed to have enjoyed it. And usually when Roger Waters can't remember anything bad happening,
that must mean it was pretty good.
That must have mean it was pretty good because and he hasn't written a song about it. So to be fair, he probably enjoyed himself. Roger doesn't write happy songs.
No, he doesn't.
But Roger and I think what was it? Roger and was it Mason were opening an exhibit, and they were asking them if they were gonna if they had thought about playing Glastonbury. And then basically it was just to reaffirm that they don't talk to David anymore. So
Yeah, I think it's Roger said that he thought he'd retired.
yeah. Roger said he thought he retired. And the last quote from Gilmore was basically that, and he hasn't said lately, but that while he and Roger do talk, they don't talk about work and they don't talk about Pink Floyd. And they seem to be better off for it, but they don't talk very often. So,
Wow.
so maybe they can do it with hologram David Gilmore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they could just get, Dave Grohl and Josh from Queens of the Stone Age, and no one will be able to tell the difference. It's fine.
That would be.
That's
That
what
would be
everyone else seems to do.
Well, that would be the way to do it. Is to basically just get, in essence, a super group of folks who really would fucking want to play with Pink Floyd.
Well,
To
basically,
back you up.
what Roger did for like the Berlin Wall thing
Right.
was basically, instead of like doing it all himself, just getting other people to come do various bits.
Right.
And doesn't Roger has a new album coming out too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Which I have not heard any of.
I haven't heard any of it either. So it hasn't begun making the rounds yet.
Yeah, no. But I am interested. It's the last one since. Was Amused to Death the last one?
I don't know. I mean, he's been touring the Wall for so damn long.
Yeah.
I don't know what his last album was.
Let's see. Yeah, Amused to Death, 92.
Yeah, and when he goes back out, it's going to be mostly the Wall again, really.
Well, the album is apparently called "Is This the Life We Really Want?"
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's strange. I mean, even when he goes out this time, it's still going to be mostly the Wall.
Yeah.
Which is kind of odd. I mean, and I've noticed this from shows I've seen, a lot of bands are really kind of nervous to play the newer material now.
Really? Why is that?
I don't know. It seems like some bands just feel either less confident in what they're playing or the newer material, because I guess that's where they feel like they lose the audience if they haven't heard the album yet. But it seems like more and more bands rely on the majority of their show on the hits and are trying to get to the stuff that everybody came to see you do.
Right.
As opposed to like, oh, here's something from the new album. That's when people go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I've heard people talk about this, but I'm like, there are some bands that I've seen where they always play the exact same songs every time they come in.
Right.
And it's sort of like, well, I do actually want to see you do newer material. Because,
right.
At some point, I'm also curious about this U2 tour.
Really?
Not that I want to see it, because well, no, you saw them do the Joshua Tree. We're old enough to remember them. I don't know if the original, but some of us are actually old enough to have seen U2 the first go round on Joshua Tree. But that tour that started out in arenas and ended up in stadiums, that one, like if they were really trying to flash back to 20 years ago, they'd do it in arenas and not stadiums. And maybe lower ticket prices.
That's not going to happen.
Nah, that's not going to happen. But it's kind of U2's, and they've been kind of defending this, where it's sort of like, oh no, this is just because we felt the album feels a bit more timely now that we're touring from this. Okay, yeah, okay, all right. So you're not like just nostalgia to death. They're very hesitant to say that. They're very hesitant to even go into the word nostalgia. They don't even like that.
Well, I can see where you too would be hesitant to play the new stuff since they had to
Yeah.
apologize for giving it to everyone for free.
So we're going to put the album on hold so that we can do this tour. You put the album on hold because you put the album on hold. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to say, well, there's a reason we did. Then there may very well be, but you could always just say, well, we don't think the album's ready yet, and we'd like to go tour.
Yeah, why not? Do it.
I mean, every band that does the we're going to play the one album tour. I mean, I liked when the Pixies did it the last couple of times that they picked an album and played it. But there are certain bands that can get away with that. I don't think every band needs to do like a tour. I mean, even the what was it, the Peter Hook and the Light thing that came through recently was kind of stretching it, because it's not even it's him and like another band. Which is fine, but you know, it's him and another band playing the songs of Joy Division in New Order. Right.
But, you know, I suppose it's as close as you're ever going to get, so.
Well, actual New Order is touring, so that's kind of the weird part about that. So you can sense the litigation in the air.
Well, it's like, you know, what was it when Yes was Anderson, Buford, Wakeman, and Howe?
Yeah.
Which I was like, you said, you know, bands should not sound like attorneys.
No.
That's just a thing.
Although that's the interesting question: is Anderson actually going to do anything with Yes when they get inducted?
I don't know.
Because, you know, he got that whole thing where he got booted, and there, I don't think they figured it out yet. Also, the other mini Rock Hall mystery is Steve Perry going to perform with Journey?
Huh. Well, considering that the new guy is a better Steve Perry than Steve Perry.
Yeah. But the new guy's not going to get inducted. They've already said who's getting inducted for each band.
I know, but you know what I'm saying. It's like
the new guy's not getting inducted.
Oh no, I know, but I'm just saying, you know, he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Well, but he has said on numerous occasions that he would love to have Steve Perry. He loves Steve Perry, basically. He just, you know, he thinks.
Well, I would imagine so, since he's basically he was grown from his DNA, apparently.
But no,
has anybody checked to see the last time Steve Perry was in the Philippines, and if the age lines up with
this is a Lifetime movie waiting to happen, is what you're saying.
Does Steve Perry need to have the CSI swab? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
But no, it's interesting.
If for no other reason than that Sherry song, he needs to be swabbed for that at the very least.
What was it? Miles Kennedy was talking about when he had to do the Guns N' Roses thing. Where he was essentially replacing Axl when they did their Hall of Fame induction performance, and how he was like, I kept praying that any second Axl was going to come in. That when he actually didn't show up, he's like, holy shit, I have to do this. but he was okay. I thought he acquitted himself nicely, even though I fucking hate Alter Bridge. But
Oy.
but yeah, but I think everybody's trying to avoid. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember the thing where actually other members of Blondie were asking Debbie Harry if they could play with them on their performance, and then she said at the podium, no.
Yes, I remember that.
I think everybody's trying to avoid that. Or even worse, like the situation with Van Halen when they got
Yeah, I remember
inducted.
that.
When it was Sammy and Michael Anthony that actually showed up and neither one of them performed.
Yeah, I remember that.
It
We
ended up
talked
being
about that a bit.
Yeah, it ended up being Velvet Revolver.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
At the exact moment they were breaking up.
Man, I hate that when suddenly Velvet Revolver. I mean,
Yeah. The Motels did a song about that. And then suddenly Velvet Revolver.
Suddenly Velvet Revolver.
oh wow.
Oh, speaking of which, I saw Wicked since the last time we talked.
Oh, the
Musical.
musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you think?
Touring show. I thought it was pretty good. Honestly, the premise is really good, and I read up about. You said you had mentioned that you'd read the original books that's based on, or at least
Right.
started to, or tried to.
No, I actually finished it.
Oh, okay. Well, the musical actually sort of dovetails away from there. They took the general gist, the premise that they knew that the witches knew each other,
Right.
and sort of this overarching government conspiracy type thing going on, and kind of dovetailed away from that a bit. But I got to tell you, the performances were good, the sets were good, but the story and the overall story is fine, but it doesn't flow for my money. Doesn't flow well scene to scene. It just seems a little. I don't know, a little rushed. My family liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was perfectly fine musical theater. But from the book perspective, and the musical book, not the actual original material, I think it was lacking in there. And I don't know. So I don't know that. And I know this is horrible to compare to, but you compare it to the music of like Hamilton,
Right.
and the music is just not even Hamilton, Les Mis.
Yeah, I
It's
I
the
heard
music
some
is
of it.
it's good. There's a couple of good things in there,
Right.
But it seems almost like it's, instead of it being musical dialogue, it's dialogue set to music, which doesn't the theater nerd in me doesn't necessarily like. But again, like I said, the performance, would I see it again? Sure. Is it my favorite musical of all time? Like, there were some people that apparently it was.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that for me. It pales, and honestly right now I can't think of what my favorite musical of all time is.
Well, that's hard.
I know what the favorite
there's-
one that I performed in is, but not
Well, what is the favorite one you performed in?
Carnival.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Can I ask a silly question as a person who is not as into musicals as, let's say, the two of you?
Mhm.
Musicals and their narrative structure, are musicals, are there ones with more narrative, or because the ones I'm
Oh, yeah.
familiar with, okay, because the ones I tend to be familiar with have really just are the excuse for the songs. So, or maybe I'm missing something, which I probably am. But
Well, no, I mean, basically, you've got like jukebox musicals, which
Yeah.
are truly just an excuse to throw together the songs of well, I mean, like Anything Goes is basically, in essence, the jukebox musical of Cole Porter.
And it kind of in a way, that's what Lazarus is, because it's basically all of David Bowie's catalog kind of fashioned to a story.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I still need to,
Coloring. Yeah.
which I still want to check out Lazarus, just from the standpoint of I have no idea how you do that, how you turn that into a sequel to Man Who Fell to Earth. You know, it's like, what? You did what?
Yeah.
So,
But I was just wondering, because and maybe it's just because I think the running joke is that Kim won't let me watch musicals with her because I keep saying I bet you they know a song about that.
well, it may
When the music starts, I bet you they know a song about that, and that just ruins it for her. So,
Well, I mean, part of it too is there are some musicals that just don't work that well because they don't further the narrative. I think if you went and if you ever watched Into the Woods, not the film adaptation, but the actual, they shot it with the proscenium Bernadette Peters version,
yeah,
you'd probably really enjoy it because the music is excellent, and they're not just singing to fucking sing.
yeah,
You don't really sing to fucking sing in Sondheim
yeah.
because it's too difficult. Yeah, my favorite musical. The favorite musical I was in was The Fantastics, which is weird because I was the mute, so I didn't sing or speak.
Well, maybe that's why it's your favorite.
That may be. It was easy to learn the songs, I'll give you that much.
I liked Avenue Q. I actually went and saw Avenue Q. I liked Avenue Q.
Avenue Q is great.
Yeah. And I kind of like Sweeney Todd. But those are the only two that I actually, maybe West Side Story.
Mm.
But that's about it. That's about my exposure to musicals is not that much. Hamilton, obviously, because of where I live in the house I'm inhabiting. I've pretty much we've had a steady diet of Hamilton for a while now. And Kim's upcoming trip to Chicago to see Hamilton is probably going to make that more. But
And what did you think of the mixtape? So I really enjoyed it. I thought there was really strong performances in it.
There's a couple of really good things in the mixtape. I actually like and I think we talked about this kind of before, the Ben Folds and Regina Spektor thing. I actually liked their version of the song because there's like 4 different versions of that song on the mixtape.
Surprisingly,
But
I thought the Kelly Clarkson song was good.
okay. But I really liked theirs, and there were a couple of things on the mixtape. The mixtape, on the whole, I kind of thought I could do without, to be honest.
Mm.
Just because the original soundtrack works as well as it does, that the way they set up the mixtape doesn't quite work the same way.
Mm.
And I understand that it's not supposed to,
Right.
but it also doesn't. if that makes sense.
It does.
Because particularly because I think the mixtape is outside of the narrative,
Right.
and the soundtrack is a bit more in the order it's in the show, whereas the mixtape isn't, and I guess that's kind of the point. But especially since, like I said, they do like the same song 3 or 4 times during the mixtape. But it's okay. But I actually prefer the original soundtrack.
Yeah, I just like
Yeah.
some of the versions on there, and I was especially, when I go, oh, who's this? Oh, Kelly Clarkson. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I didn't know she sounded good.
But yeah,
So
my actual exposure to musicals is not varied.
Yeah, I got you.
And it's mostly via Kim. And that's mostly because whatever she's happened to be listening to in the car, and I'm like, okay, what is that from? And then that kind of, oh, okay. But that's about it. That's about my exposure to musicals.
Well, I think my favorite musical that I've not been in is one that I really want to be in, which is Falsettos.
Oh, I've never heard of that. What is that?
Oh God, it's by William Finn. He was like a protege or a close study of Sondheim, and it was originally 2 one-act musicals. Well, it was originally 3, but the last 2 are what they've combined to make Falsettos, and it's about a guy who is married and with a child, and he realizes that he's gay. And so he leaves his family for his male lover, and over the course of the narrative, the wife is having problems. So like he suggests, the ex-husband suggests, well, you go see my therapist. It might help you out a lot. And she winds up marrying him. So he has some difficulty with that, and there's also lesbians who live next door. So as
there often are.
Yeah, but it's a very powerful drama and comedy at the same time, and it is basically I took a trip at one point with some friends to New York, and it was one of those trips we just went to see shows. So we would see a show, and then go out and get some drinks or something afterwards, go to sleep at God knows what time, wake up at noon, figure out what show we were going to go see. It was one of those trips. And so that was the one show we saw where it was like, no, we're not going out afterwards. We're going back to the hotel and going to just sit and think for a long time. And in the course of the second act, which was originally called Falsetto Land, the first one was called March of the Falsettos. Falsetto Land, the guy, the ex-husband, his boyfriend, because this takes place in the 80s, becomes an early patient with AIDS. And one of the lesbian neighbors is a doctor and is talking about everyone's terrified because nobody knows what the fuck is going on. So it's really funny and intense at the same time. So the soundtrack is out and it's excellent, and stars Chip Zien as the psychiatrist Mendel, who was the voice of Howard the Duck. So
there's a connection.
Yes.
Howard the Duck.
Oh,
when are we getting a remake of Howard the Duck? When's that happening?
Well,
I don't know. I was one of 3 people who actually enjoyed the movie because it was just dumb and fun. I had the biggest crush on Leah Thompson. So
yeah, well, there is a Leah Thompson with a duck fantasy that is being played out right there in front of you. So
the last time when I recommended that last Howard the Duck trade, did I mention that part of that featured a storyline where Leah Thompson hired Howard to find out what happened to her after the movie?
Yes. Which I still need to read.
That is fantastic. By the way, Chip Zdarsky that wrote Howard the Duck is going to be writing a Spider-Man title. He's going to be they're bringing back Spectacular, and Zdarsky's going to write that as a funny Spidey book.
Funny Spidey.
Which will be great, I think.
What was that? Oh, we should probably do recommendations.
We should.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I recommend that we do recommendations.
That's
Oh, I
a
can't
good
follow
recommendation.
recommendation. Oh no. All right.
So Tuffley, what have you got?
I've got a video game called For Honor. It's this kind of weird hybrid of a kind of a third person sword beat 'em up kind of campaign sort of thing. It looks like it's a fighting game. It's a bit more nuanced than that, but it is essentially a fighting game.
Okay.
It's sword-based combat, so basically at some point you can behead people, which is always nice after a day of work.
No.
Where you
Or
can't
a day
really,
at work.
yeah, you can't really do that in real life. So you know, you gotta,
You aren't trying hard enough.
exactly. But you can do Vikings, samurai, or knights in a situation that would never really happen in real life. Therefore, you know, beheadings are fine. But there's a couple of different online tournament play style sort of things. And the interesting part is the whole thing resets every 10 weeks. So you can do you can get like a bunch of people and go in as a party and do like team raids, kind of like shooters.
Right.
Or you can do kind of solo beat 'em up duel style sort of things. But the leaderboards and everything, you know, when you take lands or whatever, when you take, you know, countries or lands or whatever, all of it resets every 10 weeks. So it's in kind of a season thing. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out as far as how that's going to play. But I've played it for about a week or so now, and it's been pretty fun. It's on the consoles. I think it's on PC as well. So that was pretty good. And Alison Krauss has a new album called Windy City, which is her covering a lot of a couple of mostly obscure. I think there's a Brenda Lee song, and I think there's a Glenn Campbell song, but the rest of it is like old, like obscure kind of country album tracks.
Yeah.
Old country stuff, which if you're into that sort of thing, and her voice really works well. So you can check that out. Cloud Nothings put out a record about last month, called Life Without Sound, which is a bit more polished than the production's a bit more polished than the earlier Cloud Nothings records, but it is still plenty loud, which is always good. So enjoy that. And what was the other thing that I had? I'll go with so far Legion is not as weird as I thought it would be, but not as linear as I thought it would be, which is kind of a good thing. And again, if you enjoyed Fargo and you'd like to take another risk, you know, this I think you might be into this if you don't dig superheroes, but you did like what he did with Fargo. Check that out. Obviously, if you dig superheroes, you're probably already watching this. So far, Legion. And that's about it right now. John Oliver came back, so those the 2 episodes that have up so far are on HBO Go. If you want to recap on those,
Yes, and thank God he's back.
it felt longer.
Yes,
They've only been gone since November, and it felt longer. And the commercial about that was really funny.
yes, that was quite good.
If you haven't seen the John Oliver commercial that they did with all of the HBO franchises that will take their time in coming back.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That it?
Yep, that's it.
Oh.
What? I don't even know. All right. Thank you, Tuffley. John, what have you got?
I'll second the John Oliver. I really don't have much else. Arrival. I'd like to recommend Arrival. Fantastic science fiction film, science fiction done right. I haven't seen the other. It's got no chance of winning the best picture, but it was definitely a best picture of 2016, even though I saw it in 2017. Let's see what else.
I would be amazed if it won, though.
It'd be great, it'd be fantastic, but
It'd be nice if Hidden Figures won, but that's not going to win either.
of the ones I saw, I really like Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah.
That's still, if it wasn't for the prick that directed it, and
I know, and that's probably why that's probably why it may not win either, because I don't know. Are they ready to embrace Mel again?
I think they're ready to just acknowledge that he is a good artist, but that's about the extent of which.
That's kind of I think that's what the nomination does. I don't know if they're ready to give him hardware yet.
Right, but stranger things have happened recently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Walking Dead is finding its legs again. Get it?
I was going to ask you guys about that, because I kind of didn't watch the Grammys, and I kind of didn't watch Walking Dead, so I was kind of curious to see what you thought of that.
I'm enjoying it. It's only back for 2 episodes so far, but or is it 3?
I still need to catch
It's 2.
up.
It's 2, right?
Was one of them 2 hours?
Yeah.
Was one of them?
One of them was very long. It was like an hour and a half. Yeah.
So technically, you have seen 3 episodes.
Even the second episode was an hour. At least on my DVR, is an hour and 6 minutes. So take out the commercials. It's probably a full hour or full 58 minutes or something. But no, it's really good. So I'll recommend that. Let's see. I honestly have nothing else to recommend, but if you do go ahead and rent, Arrival or The Arrival, either one, as Tuffley's wants to tell you, you can probably go there and get it from needcoffee.com/Amazon, the Arrival /needcoffee/Amazon/ get some streaming stuff here.
Maybe we just need a mashup film where it's, Charlie Sheen, in an observatory satellite, who time travels.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Spoiler.
should do that. For which film? Go ahead.
Observatory was a spoiler.
That's not what Jeremy Renner said.
So yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Needcoffee.com/Amazon/ Arrival thing I said earlier.
Article.
Yeah, although what was funny was I think it was Patton Oswalt after Trump had said that the administration was running like a finely tuned machine. Patton's response was it was running like a finely tuned Charlie Sheen. and Charlie Sheen responded on Twitter with his thanks and how much he liked Patton. It's like the J.K. Rowling Piers Morgan thing. You go, thanks Twitter for letting me see this madness unfold. And
Is the bookstore still tweeting passages of Harry Potter?
No, because Piers blocked them, but they passed the baton to someone else who has taken over and is now tweeting at Piers. Which I cannot tell you. I have volunteered. I said, hey, if you need someone, I'll do it. And it's a relay. Great. I'm on standby if you need me.
Just to throw him off scent, somebody should. What was it? The Casual Tourist? Was that the one that the non-Potter book she wrote?
Yes.
Just kind of throw in every once in a while, throw in a line from that book just to kind of throw him off so that he thinks it's okay to come back.
Well, I like the way the bookstore was doing it, where it was like, oh, you've been very good today, Piers, so I'm going to read you another chapter before bed. It was great. So, well, as far as my recommendation, I will. My music library is in disarray because I just have too much of it, and so the one thing I do know that I have added to it recently that I have enjoyed is Ivory Coast Soul, which yes, Afro Funk from Abidjan. I'm gonna screw up this pronunciation of that. Abidjan, I guess, from 1972 to 1982. And so I've been finding every so often I run across a great, like, for the lack of a better word, vintage, like 60s, 70s, 80s rock or soul or funk record that comes out of Africa or Asia, and they're fantastic. My favorite is still, what was the full title? Let me pull this up real quick. Yes, which I'd recommended previously, Those Shocking Shaking Days, which after I found, oddly enough, every DJ on BBC Radio 6 was playing something from it. And I was like, holy shit, I beat them to something. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Indonesian hard psychedelic progressive rock and funk from 70 to 78.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. So my general recommendation is find weird random vintage rock and soul albums from places from the world that you don't necessarily think of psychedelic rock or whatever first. I've been trying to find some like Albanian hip hop or something just crazy like that. Oddly, the French seem to I seem to do the best with French rap and hip hop. Partly because I don't know what the hell they're saying, so it has to be something a little special for me to be able to get into it, since I'm big on lyrics.
Kind of on the funk and soul note, we should probably mention Clyde Stubberfield.
Oh God, yeah.
As at one point drummer, that saddens me greatly. And also someone who appreciates hip hop and all of those damn samples. It saddens me greatly.
The funky drummer, for those who don't know, James Brown's drummer extraordinaire. And like you said, you know what? I wish there was a pie chart with like, what percentage of hip hop samples came from who.
Yeah. And
I would love to see that. It probably exists.
And there is a GoFundMe page to help pay for some of his funeral arrangements. Because obviously the estate amazingly doesn't have enough money to cover the funeral arrangements, so they've got a GoFundMe page up to help some of those costs. Which is amazing when you think about like how much of his material is floating around out there in samples and the like, that he doesn't actually have. You would think he had a lot more money, but a lot of the early hip hop samples, they didn't get the clearance. So
yeah,
which is amazing.
That is wild. So,
but yeah, also as a drummer, it's just that occasional former drummer. It's just amazing and sad that guy is no longer around.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thanks for the reminder about that. 'Cause I knew that had happened, but it had slipped my mind with all of the other crazy shit that's been happening.
Well, it happened over the weekend, and Monday was a holiday, so a lot of and also a lot of crazy shits happened. So, but yeah.
So, well, that's sort of my recommendation. And thus, I think we've come to the end of another episode of Weekend Justice.
But it never ends, does it?
No, it doesn't. The next recording session is just about to start.
It's already happening in a parallel dimension.
Absolutely. But yes, as we sit here in the cracked and creviced wreckage that was previously this podcast, which we have now done unspeakable things to. I think it's time to take a moment and reflect upon this carnage and simply say, Lee, is that you?
Hey,
Wake up!
Hey, Lee. Lee, what's going on?
There's actually a possibility of up to 8 inches now.
Oh, things that are wrong. I'll take things that are wrong for 600, Alex.
I'm glad
Actually,
you guys are coming. It's going to be fun.
we need to make a tape and put that in an old Teddy Ruxpin and have it say nothing but
Oh,
Leeisms.
God.
Follow. Oh my God, this is awful.
That's so wrong. And yet, hilarious.
Harder. Oh my God.
But also wrong.
Can't be much more wrong than Mr. Crowley.
My head hurts.
And on that note, and on that bombshell,
And on that bombshell,
good night.
we flee.
We play.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
It's very wrong.